0 to 60.
Wait, you saw a dude's arm get hacked off?
Yeah, it's in Sheehan. We're sitting there having a drink, just drinking a beer, hanging out. It's dark. It's at night. Only 2 stories up, we're looking over this balcony. And so these guys are walking. I'm like, looking at Kayla, and I'm like, oh, dude, look, there's gonna be a nice little fight going on here, right?
This is about to happen again.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. And I look, and I'm like, oh, that's not a glass bottle. That's a meat cleaver. His whole arm falls off, except for it's connected by skin. And his buddy goes and puts his arm together. And then up walks the boss, just casually grabs his knife and goes shank, 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 shank. And they start dragging these people in. And all of a sudden, done. And we're in that building. And I'm sitting there looking at my buddy Kalen. We never saw anybody ever come out. We posted up for several hours. We never saw him again.
You ready, bro?
Let's do it.
Okay, before we jump in, I do something a little bit special and different on this podcast. I like to give first responders, law enforcement, military, small businesses opportunities to send us some stuff. This gentleman is the God-Fearing Lifting Club. He is out of Southern California. He's actually an active duty cop. Makes really good, great Christian apparel that's connected to fitness, and he's bringing guys together through working out and scripture and a bunch of really cool stuff. I wear his gear all the time. It's actually one of the few Christian brands that I love supporting, and he's an active duty law enforcement officer. I got you a Wild Chaos tee, nice. And then the girls baked you up a fresh loaf of sourdough from the Sourdough Bakery, from their little homeschool project that is now a business that I never thought I'd be involved in. So we're going to send you home with a fresh loaf of bread, which everybody loves. So
love it, man. That was awesome.
Okay, dude, I'm going to intro you, and then we're going to jump right into this because you are a man of all traits, and I want to make sure we get this right. So first, you're a local Bubba, born and raised here in Nampa, Idaho. You grew up in a single wide trailer with your very, I don't want to say poor family, but dad was making $11,000 a year. You struggled in school with ADD, anxiety, dyslexia, academically, anger. I feel like you and I are going to connect a lot on that stuff. And you believe that, along with me, sports is probably your way out of a guy. I think you and I are really similar with this. That was my hope and dreams, and obviously I found the military. Your senior year, you're an all-star, all-state American running back, all-star track and state wrestling, which ended up helping you earn a scholarship to Missouri Valley College, which is really cool because you became a 2-time All-American wrestler. You wrestled on an American national championship team, and you earned 2 college degrees. But during this time, your senior year, things kind of spiraled. You got a little bit of trouble. A lot of trouble. Your sister ended up ODing. You struggled. You ended up getting arrested after throwing a massive party.
Oh, yeah.
Want to talk about that. And almost not even ended up graduating. But right toward the end, you ended up talking to a professor, changed your life. Instead of going the traditional route, you went more with the entrepreneurship. And during that time, you have grown some pretty incredible companies and a good network and net worth over the years. You've transitioned into Jiu-Jitsu in the last 5 years. You were on a random trip and met some special naval warfare bubbas.
Yeah.
And you ended up doing some cool training with them. And here you are 5 years later. You're competing all over the world in Jiu-Jitsu. And Alan Ballin was just up here, and it got us introduced. And a lot of other accomplishments, man. But you've traveled over 70 countries, which I want to jump into that. I love world travelers because not a lot of people get that opportunity to see the world. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of experiences that come with it.
Oh, yeah.
You ended up saving a guy, or not saving a guy, but doing CPR on a guy at 150 foot on a dive.
Yeah, Roger's not with us anymore.
Roger's not with us anymore after a big, deep dive, and I would like to get into that. And you've faced violence in Japan, all over the place. You have just a world traveler, and we got connected recently, and everybody's like, bro, Shane, you got to get him on your show. So we don't know much about each other except for little clips here and there. We met at a networking or a little archery event.
Yeah, because my buddy's like, this guy's awesome. And then
same here, yeah.
Josiah and all these people, I'm like, and all of a sudden I see your stuff. I'm like, dude, who is this guy?
100%. I had Josiah reading out. He's like, Shane? I'm like, I don't. You do? He's like, you guys need to connect. Same with Alan, same with Shad, and all the other guys are like, dude, you guys are going to hit it off. So I looked in, I was like, who the hell is this guy? How have I never crossed paths before?
Dude, we live 15 minutes away from each other. And yeah, I was just with Josiah at his birthday.
Yep.
Like yesterday talking about you. It's awesome. So yeah, dude, I'm stoked to be here. I'm excited. God has blessed me more than anybody.
Yes, he's a huge, faith is a huge part of your story from childhood to now.
Oh yeah.
Which I grew up Christian, fell away from it, being the pastor's kid through the military, and I've been brought back into it. So I'm a new, I consider myself baby Christian all over again.
Your dad's a minister too, huh?
Yeah, yours too?
Yeah, so yeah.
Here we go.
That was part of my dad's journey, man.
Here we go. Buckle up. We got some,
hey, buddy.
we got pastor's kids. We're going to unwrap some trauma and see where.
Great. Oh, man. I put it all in this book here. So let's do the trauma.
Here we go, man. This is wild chaos. So as a true fashion that we start every show, who are you and where are you from?
Shane Hall from Nampa, Idaho.
What is it like growing in Nampa, Idaho, back in the good old days?
You know, I feel really blessed. It's interesting, the different perspectives. You know, you could look at not having a lot of money and not being able to have access to stuff. But it's very interesting how you don't know when you're a kid. You don't know. You don't know.
Nope.
I thought my grandpa was this famous rancher and we had all this land, and my dad was this great athlete.
Yep.
And so we had access to we'd go camping and do all these things. Well, looking back, we didn't have money for vacations. We camped. And when you have a lot of money, you lean into family.
Absolutely.
Right. And so this land, and my grandpa's just hardworking, soiled earth, my grandma, the whole works, and a lot of faith and a lot of family. And it was awesome upbringing. And so I didn't know what I didn't know.
Isn't it crazy? It's a great perspective that I feel a lot of men are missing these days. A lot of parents, because we feel that we need to just give our kids everything we didn't have. And we need to overcompensate for growing. I grew up in a pretty poor family. My dad didn't make much our whole entire life. Mom was a stay-at-home mom, made sure us were raised right. But you don't know. It just shows you that your children just want you to be present. They don't need presents. They need you to be present. And that, once I had to relearn that as a father and a man, that it's not about the fame and the numbers and how hard you're working, the boats and the toys. It's just all about quality time. And that's all they need at the end of the day.
Yeah. And in fact, the things that you think you didn't have, you were actually blessed with other things.
Absolutely.
So the fact that we didn't have extra money and all these toys and four-wheelers or anything, well, my dad would take me up into the wilderness and he'd make me build shelters in flint and steel and hunting and all these things that now, oh my gosh, like energetically I'm connected to the wilderness. And it allowed me also to have the availability to be like, well, I know what it's like not to have anything, but I still had food, I still had shelter, I still had love, right? So then you go, well, all these material things, they're just potentially liabilities. Are they that important?
That's a great question, because, I mean, you've built businesses that are gone from zero to been part of $100 million company at a point. And I talk to a lot of men, and they like, what is true happiness? Is it the money? Is it chasing all of these toys and shiny objects? Or is it knowing that you have a healthy wife, a healthy kids, a roof over their head, they're in a warm bed at night? Is that not wealth? And that was my problem for many years. I'd look at all these guys and, dude, how I want to be, how do I get to? And then I took a step back, and my wife just grinded me like, dude, look what we have. Look what was, and then you start really being grateful, and that gratitude really steps in.
Dude, joy,
pure joy. Joy is something I missed for a long time.
Yeah. So you felt you got kind of distracted a little bit.
1,000,000,000%.
A 1,000,000,000% is a big percent. So so like, but it's hard not to.
You get into you start chasing everything and looking what everybody else is doing on social media, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you're not getting happier doing that, because it's pulling you farther and farther away from what you already have and what makes you happy, and you're just not realizing it.
Yeah, you look how Jesus lived, and you think of the Bible, and you think basics. Okay. At no time is anybody promoting that more liability, more payments, more is going to make you happier, yet we get sucked into it, right? In fact, all this stuff, if you have too much of this, it creates a fog.
Absolutely.
And then you're not actually able to see what your purpose is. You can't actually see what God is you're intended to do, because you're spending all your time paying liabilities. Or there's too much fog with too much alcohol, too much substances, and you actually never discover what God wants out of you.
And your true potential.
Oh, Yeah.
It's that mindset. You know, and I was one of those guys for a long time. You'd watch these motivational speakers. I'd be like, it's all in your mind. You just got to change yourself and get yourself. And I'm just like, bro, yeah, if it was no shit. And then, but once you really start processing, okay, what do I have? What have I been blessed with? What am I just chasing this because I want to look cool? Am I chasing this because it's going to help me get to the next level, or is this going to benefit? Is this truly from God? If I'm chasing it, is it from God or is it from the devil?
Yeah, and that's confusing too, right? The process is easy, but the human mind is complicated.
Oh, is it?
You know, most things are pretty simple and basic, but our mind is wild, right? The wild chaos. So, what did you hit that helped you see past that, though?
My wife. My wife. I have to give her the majority of the credit. I fought anger and just being just irritable and snapped and short. And I couldn't even give reasons why so many times. My wife would be like, why are you so upset right now? And I would tie it to things I was watching, what I was consuming.
Yeah.
And it would trigger something. I'm watching politics. I'm watching our country fall. Here I am. I defended my country. I've done these deployments. And now I'm watching who we're supporting and the way things are shifting and COVID, all that. And I would just, what did I fight for? Was it all a lot? You know, that. And so once I had to just really take a step back, and my wife's like, okay, let's say everything that you're stressing on is true. What difference is it going to make? What difference are you going to make? Are you going to go take up arms and go fight at the Capitol? And is that what you're going to do? I'm like, absolutely not. I've done my time. She's like, then why don't we worry about what's under our roof and worry about what we're grateful and what we have here? And it just one day, having a conversation with God, I was like, bing, like the light goes off. And I'm like, man, I got beautiful, healthy daughters. We're very wealthy of what we have here, but I'm not wealthy bank-wise, but I know guys that have hundreds of millions in the bank, and they're the most miserable people I've ever met in my life.
The level of anxiety and depression and stress that is in America right now is really, really aggressive.
It is.
Right?
And everybody's feeling it.
And gas goes up, everything, stress. But also the level of people that are focusing on that, and that's everything, is also big because it makes you more energy. That energy, it compounds, you stress, you get more angry, and a lot of stuff, to reinforce what your wife said, is some of that you have no control over.
The 90-10, that's how I really had to start. That 90-10 rule, I really preach by it. It's that you get up every day and dude, you're not going to control what happens, but it's up to you. So you get a flat tire. Like, are you going to let that 10% of that moment of your day ruin the 90% of what's rest of it? Are you some guy that cuts you off and flips you off in traffic? Am I going to go chase that dude down and have words with him now? Or just like, cool, that was a moment, that was a fraction of my day, but I'm going to let that compound throughout the day. Then I'm going to take that anger home, the frustration, whatever it may be. And now I'm going to put that into my kids. That energy is coming into my wife because now she's my punching bag, because I can take it out on her because some guy, we got into it somewhere, or whatever it may be. So once I started thinking about that, it's like, all right, well, it happened. Like, what, is this the rest of my day now?
Well, what are you going to do? Because it's a suggestion, right? I was in Nicaragua, and this random dude told me two things. I got into grounding because of him.
Okay, I love grounding.
And at the time, I was like, what are you doing? Because it's a dude standing in the dirt. Right? It's a dude standing in the dirt. And he's like, I'm grounding, bro. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, have you ever seen a tree grow through cement? I go, no. He goes, but there's energy. If you stand on the dirt, you get the energy, man. And I'm like, okay.
Makes sense.
But it was enough that I go, okay, so what do you do? He's like, you stand on, I'm like, you mean you stand in the dirt, right? Yeah. So I kind of make fun of him, but I'm like, all right, I'll also start doing that. And that same guy, and this was not an in-depth interaction. This is a random hippie traveler dude that had a guitar, and he's passing through Nicaragua.
The best.
And I only ended up in Nicaragua because we couldn't get on a plane to Brazil, all right? And then he was like, well, man, if you choose to react, then it's a thing. But if you don't, there's nothing. He's like, feelings are just suggestions. And I was like,
you sound like the turtle off of Kung Fu Panda. You know how he drives?
Yeah. That was him. Now that I look back. but it's so interesting. Like the small, profound things, if you keep it simple. Yeah. And
absolutely.
So throughout my life, dude, it's been so awesome. And I have some friends I travel with. And at the end of the day, like, if you can play it cool and just don't suck as a person, you can make it through a lot.
But that's the problem. We start worrying about the image, what everybody else is thinking, what my friends and family are going to think, what if I'm going to let people down. And once you get over that hurdle where you really have to take that step back, and go, okay, I'm doing this for me. This is going to better my life. And if those people aren't in line with me or on track with it, they're either going to, we'll come back around, we'll circle back to it, or hey, guess what? You're not in line with where I'm trying to build or go right now. And I feel a lot of people get stuck there because they don't want to let go of what they've had, and they want to bring people along, but those people are bringing them down and not supporting you. And I don't know, it's just this vicious cycle that I think us people get sucked into, instead of just really focusing on everything that you have and what you're able to put into your business, your family, friends, whatever. Then we want to have so many pokers in the fire, and as far as just spreading ourselves so thin and not being able to actually control, I want to line out and do this. And that was a big thing I've learned over the last couple of years, is just getting rid of the noise, focusing on exactly what we want and where we need to go with it.
But it's easier said than done, right?
Absolutely. Or everybody be doing it. Everybody be fit, right?
Yeah,
Same thing.
Let's think about it.
I
don't eat fast food. Okay. And then I eat healthy. Okay. Like, it's not that complicated.
Just little changes.
But it is complicated, right? And so it's funny, the things you're saying, it's like, man, and a lot of people are just thirsting for a way to execute that. They're just dying for a way to be healthy, to have good self, to have wealth. And I think secretly everyone's searching. They're on I feel like I'm on a quest to connect with what God wants me to do.
Absolutely.
Like, I honestly view my life as an art piece moving, and I'm on that quest. And God's trying to get me where I'm going, and I just keep going. But along the way, there's all these adventures. I've had so many cool adventures where you take a left and you die, or if you're on the next chopper flight, then I'd be dead, or things of that nature. And so God's speaking to us, and so you just lean forward. But if you get caught up in society and you get frozen by that fear, you'll never discover what he wants.
No, and that's where I think a lot of the people are stuck, is because they're scared. They feel they have to have everything ready to go. Oh. I got to prep this. We're not ready yet. It's too early. And we are the type of family, especially my wife, she's like, oh, we got to build an airplane. Cool. Fucking jump. And we're going to build it on the way down. And if we don't make it, we're going to splat. We're going to climb back up. And we're going to do it again. But that's kind of our motto in the family. Like, we're going to build it on the way down. And if we don't make it and we don't figure it out, guess what? We're going to try it again. This is a proof of that, and
it's
everything
awesome.
else we have going. It's like we don't know what we're doing. I got a teenager as my producer,
artist teenager, correction, artist
teenager, phenomenal world champion,
world champ,
else.
artist.
Yeah.
His daughter is a world champ and an artist, and a
everything
creator.
else is a badass. Yeah. But that's just those things. It's like, oh, cool. Like, how do we bring this together and simplify it?
But that's why it works. Like, I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, most of my friends, the depth, like, vulnerable people I'm with are messy. We either got messy together, we made mistakes, and it's like there was some type of chaos.
And lessons learned.
And God punched us through, right? I don't have a ton of friends that I have really in-depth relationships that don't have any mess. Because if they don't have any mess, then we're not vulnerable, or they're not really living.
They're not trying. And
having everything put together in a packaged structure, I don't know. You turn around one day and you go, man, I wish I would have. I don't want to turn around one day and go, I wish I would have.
I talk about that all the time. That's one. I don't have many fears. Obviously, losing a child it terrifies me. But one of my fears is laying on my deathbed thinking, man, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have taken them there. And that's why we live the life we live. We don't spend extravagant on things. We build memories, core memories with our kids. I want to lay on my deathbed. I'm going to look at each kid on each side and be like, we did it. Like, what a life.
It's awesome.
That's my goal. I want, cool, you guys, you know what it even gives me emotional thinking about it. I just want to be that. Think about being an old asshole. Cool, you got 50 mil in the bank, but you don't have any relationship with your kids. You're on your third marriage. You've done all of these accomplishments, but there's nobody there to share that with, because you have focused on everything that Satan has put in your life, chasing money, chasing the fame, chasing whatever it is. And then till what? Till one day you're on your deathbed and nobody's standing beside you? I want my family there, and I'm going to be like, fucking A, guys. How rad was that? They're going to be like, psh.
I love it.
That's it. That's my goal.
I totally agree. I call it living the and. So at first, I remember when I was getting out of college and they're like, well, you have to choose. Either you're going to make a bunch of money and work all the time,
Yep.
or you're going to be a bum and not have any money, but you'll have cool experiences. Or so is everybody's either or. And I was like, man, what if I could find the and? How could I be really healthy?
Yep.
Could I develop wealth with asset development and also seek a higher self, travel the world, get in touch and find out what God has in store for me and go on adventures? How can I do all of those?
Okay, let's dive into that then, because that's the $1 million question for me. I go to these networking events. I sit down with guys that are partnered with Uber and Michael Jordan and all this shit. And I always ask them, I go, how did you build all this and still have a family that you have a relationship with? And none of them have been able to give me an answer. Well, you got to sacrifice for one for the other. No. Okay, cool then. And then I'm done chasing the wealth because look where it gets you.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's always the top thing is, well, you have to sacrifice this or sacrifice that. There is always a level of sacrifice, but you don't have to completely eliminate.
No.
Right?
No.
But the conventional way, if you do the conventional way, then it doesn't make sense. The program doesn't make sense. And I got lucky through that college experience, through basically about to get kicked out of college, that got exposed to me because I did the traditional route where I went to college. I was on a national championship team with some awesome athletes, friends of mine still this day, these all-American studs. Like they were really good wrestlers. Yeah. I was just an athlete along for the ride with them.
Yep.
I had Hall of Fame coaches, all this stuff. I got my grades in order. High school, horrible grades. College, for some reason, it worked.
Okay.
And then along the way, I started throwing parties as a side gig. And it clicked and started making really good money. And
you're charging like a door fee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the biggest one we threw was about 900 people. We get sponsorship, everything.
At a college party?
Yeah, it was great. Like I had a whole network. We called it Omegas. Omega Tap Ass is what it was called.
Omega what?
Basically, I was in a business class, and at the time, the day before, I went to all these different parties and all these fraternities, and they're like, well, we can't throw parties. We're going to get our chapter pulled. And then this business class, this professor was talking about shell companies. And so I was like, oh, I'll just build a shell company and call it Omega. And then I'll just have people pay me and I'll market it. And then everybody can throw parties and no one gets in trouble because it doesn't exist.
But it's technically the sorority or fraternity that is having you host this?
Yeah, but I would just be the shell company.
Yeah. That's genius.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, cool. And so I made shirts and just got the coolest guys. I was like, hey man, to pledge, you buy a shirt. All right, let's go. And then if you suck, you're not in. That was it. Like that was like, and so it grew. The biggest we were at like 70 people in 3 chapters, and then it became an organization. It was a business. I had a bank account, everything, and we marketed and had all this stuff.
Okay.
And then we were making money, and my coach at a certain point, I'm like, hey man, this is what I'm doing. Like I'm gonna still All-American. I'm gonna win, but I'm doing this. And he's like, gosh dang, the poor guy. He had so many calls from cops and issues.
Oh, I bet.
It was wild. But it came to a head. I mean, at a certain point, you can only poke the bear so long.
And then you had a wild-ass party that kind of tipped it over?
Yeah, and a lot of them kind of got wild. And this particular one just did, and the floor caved in because there's so many people. So we brought the house down, which is really cool. And then a cop came. And at the time, I've been talking my way out of stuff, like talking my way out of this. And my wrestling coach was having my back, and because I had good grades, I was still good at sports, and so I was like I was poking the bear, and I had my network of guys, and we ran those parties. I mean, it was awesome. And I was just getting cocky, and this cop wasn't part of the game, and he goes, and he arrested me. So he arrests me, and I'm like, what am I arrested for? He's like, contributing to a minor. And I go, well, I didn't buy the beer. I didn't buy the keg. And he goes, okay, man, well, if you tell me who bought the keg, I'll let you go right now. If not, because he goes, what's your degree? I'm like, education. He's like, you cannot graduate from Missouri Valley College with contributing to a minor with an education degree or history. You can't teach, which makes sense, right? That makes sense. And he goes, if you give me the name of the person who bought the kegs, I'll uncuff you, I'll let you go. And I was in handcuffs, and I go, you don't have very many good friends in this world, do you? And he's like, you're going to jail, smartass. I go, take me. Because my friend Gilbert Jones was my partner in crime. He was my drill partner. He threw the parties. I'm like, okay, I'm going to jail. So I went to jail, and I get arrested. I go in, the whole works. And I get out and I'm like, okay, well, there has to be some way out of this. And all of a sudden,
There's no way out.
no, like, that's it. You can't, yeah, you just got arrested and then contributed and like, oh my gosh. So now I'm like going through this stuff. And I'm talking to my coach, and my coach is like, what? Like, dude, like, you've poked the bear too many times. Like, you know, we'd get in trouble for fighting. We'd throw parties and we'd get away, like, always right on the edge. The problem with this now is I was supposed to graduate. So I was the second high school diploma in my mom's genealogy.
Okay.
And so here it is. I'm about to graduate from college.
Are you going to be the first graduate
From
of college?
her genealogy. My dad's side had a couple.
Okay.
And everybody had tickets. My dad has a ticket. My grandma has a ticket. Everybody has tickets to come watch me graduate. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go to Doc McLean. So I go to Doc to look for advice because I'm like, what do I do? And he's drunk. The professor used to drink. He was an alcoholic. Literally, he's an alcoholic.
Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like you're looking stereotypical veins down the nose, sloshy. I go there like 1 PM, and he's drunk and he's wasted. And you could go to his house, and there's a secret group that you go hang out and drink with him whenever, and he talk about philosophy or whatever. His claim to fame was he coached Michael Jordan in one of his English classes back at North Carolina.
Okay.
I think he got fired from North Carolina. I'm pretty sure he got fired from everywhere. So he's like, I taught Michael Jordan and or whatever, right?
Still telling that story to
this day. And so we're hanging out, and I go, and I'm like, dude, I'm in a tough spot. I don't know what to do. And how we connected is I took a William Blake class, and it's a poet and an artist. And I thought William Blake was bashing God, but in reality, William Blake felt that sometimes the church was killing God's message.
Absolutely.
So him and I, Doc McLean, get in this relationship where he's teaching me. He's like, Shane, you're going to do more in life than just be a teacher. So I'm there, and he gets excited. I go, what are you excited about? He's like, this is the greatest moment in your life. He goes, I've been waiting for you not to be a teacher. He's like, you can't be a public school teacher. You'll get squashed. I go, dude, I'm about to get kicked out. I just got out of jail. Like, I'm screwed. And he's like, no, we'll fight it. And he grabs a box and throws down cash. He throws down several $1,000s of cash. And he goes, I'll help you.
This is the drunk professor?
This is the drunk professor McLean. He throws it down. He's like, you don't understand, Shane. He's like, this is the greatest moment in your life. I'm like, this is not great. I'm like, I'm not going to graduate
I'm losing
college.
everything. This is not.
Yeah. And he goes, no. He goes, I kid you not, he looks me in the eye and he goes, Shane, you were never meant to be a standard teacher. And he says these words. He's like, you're going to travel the world, make millions of dollars, and talk to people and motivate people to be greater than they are for a living. He's like, that's what you're going to do.
No kidding.
And I go, I just got out of jail.
You're not listening to
I go,
me.
you're not like, I know. And he goes, no. What you're going to do is tomorrow you're going to go and you're going to sign up for public relations. I go, hold up, dude. I'm about to get kicked out. I'm about to get my bachelor's degree if I get through this in a month or two. He's like, no. You're not going to accept your degree. You're going to stay. You're going to get a minor in public relations, and you're going to go to this guy Trent's class tomorrow, and you're going to talk to him about getting in his program. I go, are you not hearing me? He's like, I don't think you're hearing me. And he goes, it's going to work out. This is great. And I go,
oh, so that was the loophole. So if you didn't accept your major, switched majors or added that on, so you do a little bit more time.
He's like, yeah, he goes, stop being a teacher. Puts together this plan.
Yeah.
Puts together this plan. And he's like, this is great for you. And so I go, okay. And he's like, but step one, you got to go meet this professor. And then you got to call your parents and tell them you're not graduating college.
How'd that go over?
Well, it went because I called my dad and I go, hey man, this is what's up. I don't think I'm going to walk and accept my degree. I'm going to stay another semester. And he goes, okay, here's the deal. We don't have enough money to fly back out and see you graduate. So if you don't accept your degree, then your grandma, me, we're not going to see you graduate. He's like, that's your call.
Yep.
But we don't got the money. And I go, well, let me go talk to this professor. So I go to this class. I just go and I find out when his class is, and I walk in late, and I walk in, he goes, who the hell are you? I go, I'm Shane Hall. Who the hell are you? He's like, I'm Trent. I'm the professor. I go, well, I'm here to take the class. He goes, who said you could take my class? I go, who says you could teach me? And he smiles and he puts a chair up. He goes, let me interview you. And so we batter back and forth. And after class, he goes, hey, Shane, I want you to know I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And God told me his wife had recently died, and God told him to come teach college classes. He's like, I need to take a pay cut and teach college classes. And so we started talking. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'll teach you how to talk. Yeah, just don't graduate and do this.
No kidding.
And so I go, okay. So my dad and my grandma, they didn't see me graduate. So I pivot. I have to go through some legal things, and some people, long story short, stepped in and saved my butt.
Okay, yeah.
On the graduating college, going to jail thing, contributing minor.
Yep.
God's really good there. Punched my way through. And while talking to this Trent guy, he changes my perception. He goes, God doesn't want us to do the standard, and you got to lean into your talents. And so he goes, I think you should just talk or do marketing or sales for a living. And so that changed my trajectory, because at that time I had been a wildland firefighter for 4 years in the summer.
Okay.
And I was either going to be a firefighter or a teacher. And by the end of it, I knew there's no way I could go back. And I started thinking different.
No kidding. All from a conversation of a professor.
Well, you get locked up,
For sure.
thrown out.
The option of being thrown out of school after all these years of, and then finally right before you're about to, graduate.
Yeah, well, and a lot was going. I mean, dude, I just got done with 2 reconstructive surgeries. I had a year of wrestling left. I think I was nationally ranked like 3rd or something. And so I was beat up. I had 5 surgeries by that time, cadaver bones, some ligaments, some bolts, and was partying hard. I just recently got in a banger of a fight.
What was that fight about?
I mean, what they're all about, drinking
Girls.
and women, right?
Yeah. That age.
Well, you said you used to fight a little bit?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah?
It's not anymore. Those days are all behind
And how
me.
many of those times were you drunk or was about a girl?
A good half of them.
Right?
The other half is just, I just couldn't walk away. So I do now, though.
Oh, ego, right?
100% ego.
And over what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. But nothing turns into a scrap.
Real quick.
And I happen to be on this team with really good fighters. Some of these guys are in the WWE, some are in the UFC, some are like undefeated MMA, like All-Americans. Our whole lineup was college All-Americans. Everybody in our lineup was a college All-American, at least 1, 2, or 3 or 4-time All-Americans.
Oh, no kidding.
And some were world champs. So when we went out, we never lost fights.
Just a pack of pit bulls rolling around.
Yeah.
What was the biggest fight you got into in college?
I mean, we had a lot of nonverbal disagreements. So we had a lot, but this particular one I think was the break point where it coupled with me getting arrested and me being like, whoa, man, I need to pump the brakes. I went out drinking with a buddy. And the problem is he wasn't a wrestler buddy. He was a basketball buddy.
Oh, okay.
And he starts talking trash to this Division I football team. There's like 7 of them. And we go outside and all of a sudden he's on the ground getting beat up. And I just want to help him out. So I grabbed the guy off him. The problem was when I threw the guy, he went and slid on the ice. So it looked like I was really getting after him. And then boom, I get punched. And I step in, I take the guy down and I'm beating on the guy. And I'm like, okay, cool. They're going to let this play out. And they weren't going to let it play out. So then, I mean, they jump in on me and they're reining in. And I come up and I punch a guy and I'm trying to circle. And then all of a sudden, this middle linebacker dude, hits me with a tackle. And I'm backpedaling. And luckily, in the last second, I lateral drop him through the bar window. So you know those big windows? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had 40 stitches in my whole body by
you
time.
went through too?
Yeah, so we went through the window.
So he's like Terry Tating you through a window?
Yeah, it was awesome. My WWE career started there. So we go through the window and we come off and I throw a guy in a car and we're going. I think I had 40 stitches at the end of it and a fractured skull. Because at one point I took a guy down, which is stupid. And while I'm beating on a guy, this guy was kicking me in the face so much, I felt my face melt. Like literally it was fractured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get up, and by the end, I'm in the middle of the street, standing there, blood everywhere. We're throwing when the cops roll up. And I remember I got back to my house that night, and I was like, gosh dang. I'm looking in the mirror, and so I call my mom, and I go, hey, Mom, I need some money for stitches.
Yeah.
Because I'm on insurance. She goes, no. My mom goes, no, I told you enough. Like, because I had my knee reconstructed the year before, I had my arm reconstructed the year before, and she's like, enough. She's like, I can't afford you anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like looking in the mirror, bloody, being kicked out of school, about not to graduate. And looking back, it was drinking, ego, just
Every time, piss and vinegar.
thinking I could get away with everything. So it was rough, right? And then so as I'm going through this PR thing, then my sister, it's just kind of compounding,
Okay.
right? On the outside looking in.
Yep.
I
You're
got
not seeing it yet.
got everything worked out. I got some good buddies, but we're partying hard.
Yeah.
And I'm still athletic. I still got it. And then my sister, all of a sudden, the break point with me is my sister started doing several different types of drugs. And
Did she have any problem prior to this? What's the age gap between you guys?
3 or 4 years.
She younger?
She's younger.
Okay.
And my sister is awesome, salty earth. But my sister is definitely, I would say, a follower. Just go along with the crowd, chill, super chill. All right, you want to do that? I'll do that. And she got caught up in I think she said coke and some different things, went from weed. And then she said what happened is they couldn't get a hold of it and started doing crystal.
Oh, damn.
And then it started going harder and harder. And then she's stacking that with other drugs, stacking it. And in hindsight, she started having mini heart attacks.
Oh, okay.
Her body just started shutting down.
Yeah.
And then it shut down so much that almost kind of a paralytic state that they had to take her in the emergency room. So I get a phone call that she's in the emergency room and she was having her body was shutting down. A week of just nonstop. And I'm like, I'm beat up. I'm like, hold up. I'm partying like a rock star. My sister now, we're really, really close. Her and I talked about it recently. One of the last calls, we were on the phone. I couldn't understand. It was a weird call. And she foggy remembers talking to me, but I didn't know she was that hard into drugs. Oh. So then it's just I was like, I gotta go home. And so I went to my coach and I'm like, hey man, there's not gonna be another year. I gotta go home. My sister just got out of the freaking emergency room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I can just be with my sister and also, is this wrestling thing really that big of a deal? And my wrestling coach was really cool, man. I had a full ride. I was ranked 3rd in America at the time. He was going to bring her out and give her a scholarship.
Oh, really? What an awesome coach.
He's like, I'll give her, Coach Mockles, my wrestling coach out there. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He's going to give her a scholarship to do books. We were going to have a house. I only needed 3 more credits for another bachelor's degree. Full ride.
Damn.
Yeah, and I think I was ranked 3rd, so I was probably an All-American another time. But when I called her, she was like, I really want to stop. And there's something about the phone call, and I was like, well, if I bring her out here, right?
You're just putting her in your world now.
And how healthy is my world?
Yep.
So I went back, and her and I are still close today. She got sober.
Good.
We ended up we were running a property management company together for a long time, for 4, 5, 6 years.
Good.
She has 3 boys, sober, healthy.
Good.
And
we all go through phases.
Yeah, and that's how I ended up not being a teacher and then went to sales because of that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Good for you. Isn't it crazy? Just people get so set on, I have to go to college. I have to get this job. I have to sit here for the next 20 years and copy, paste, repeat, and it's just how it is. But if you just, man, this is where the Lord's taking me. This is where life is taking me, and you follow it. It is buckle up. And you're about to jump on the wildest journey that you could ever imagine.
But you know how hard it is to pray and think about it and then be like, well, 3 credits, bachelor's degree, I can be an All-American again, make a run,
for
cool.
Sure. That's not
and then
easy
just say,
decision.
no, I'm going to go home and sleep on my friend's couch instead. Everybody said I was stupid. Right? People along the way, most things I've done look stupid from the outside in.
Who gives a shit?
Well, but,
right?
But think about
that's the problem. That's the holdup for people. You're worried about what other people. I'm going to look stupid doing this. Look at how many crazy people. Look at who started Costco and starting it into a closet, and and everybody called him batshit crazy. You're going to sell wholesale and bulk orders to people, and everybody told him not to do it.
The Amazon, the picture of the Amazon above, what's his name?
Yeah, same thing. A little room.
Well, it sounds like you went through some kind of a similar path.
Oh, my
Were
whole
you
life.
kind of getting in fights and?
Well, that was a big thing in the military is, dude, I was out of control. And then after the military, I ran amok, and I was contracting overseas and just had that ego. And big tatted military dude, thought I was the shit.
And high rank.
I ended up getting checked, and it was one of those things. And I ended up actually, I'm a very stubborn, I'm retarded. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. I am borderline half retarded, so I'm like the pit bull that just like and then gets beat, then comes right back and does it again. I have to feel it several times before.
Dude,
it's just who I am, because I'm not going to let anybody ever dictate and tell me, hey man, you're really screwing up. Like, I have to feel, see, taste, smell that I'm screwing up.
I wish I could learn the easy way. No, I really do.
Oh God,
people that learn the easy way, it's awesome.
It's cheap,
good for them.
Saves your body lessons, saves your bank for your financial. Dude. If you learn the easy way, 100%. We're just wired that way, though.
In fact, now screw those people. People learn the easy way suck. Forget you guys.
Yeah, dorks. Like, who wants to take the easy route?
Well, I mean, fighting. I used to get like a lot of fights. Well, you don't lose fights. Cool. But then that one, I had to my mom had to say, no, there's no money for stitches. Your skull, no, that's it. Like, I don't I had to get anybody says you've never got your ass kicked, have not fought enough people or the wrong person.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Like, if you're undefeated in fighting, it means you did not test yourself enough. And that day, I got my ass kicked by 6, 7 guys, and I have stitches, and I'm fractured. My skull was fractured for 7 years. I'd tap my teeth together, it'd vibrate. It just, I don't know why. It just broke something in there. And I look back and I'm like, I needed that. You know how much that saved me? And the reason why it saved me is because I went and hung out with a buddy of mine, Mooney. And we were hanging out. I used to party with those guys, the Mooney brothers. And they'd go out and we all wrestled together. Well, one football, one wrestle. And they'd go out and we'd party, we'd get in fights. And so after that fight, I'm like, I got to stay away from this. And my buddy, Kevin, love him to death, awesome guy. He kept pressing it. And within a year, he hit a guy so hard he killed him.
Oh, shit.
And the guy didn't wake up. And I was like, gosh dang, could I have been, I'm not saying I would have been there that day, but how many times have I been around that? And Kevin had to do a stretch, and now he's in a good spot in life now.
Yeah.
But how many times have I been in spots where my friends or I were being so violent that it would be that quick? And Kevin had a good coach. I was in the UFC center one time kind of training, and this guy named Nate Pettis goes, you want to hit mitts? I go, okay. And as I'm hitting, I'm not that good at striking. And as I'm hitting him, Nate goes, you're from Idaho? I go, yeah. He goes, do you know Kevin? And I go, yeah, how do you know Kevin? He goes, I'm Kevin's striking coach for MMA. And Nate Pettis said it, and I go, wait, so you taught Kevin how to kill a man? He pauses, smiles, and he goes, yes, I did.
Oh, no shit.
And we went back to working out.
No shit.
But that's the kind of level of guys I was around.
Yeah.
And looking back, I was heading in the wrong direction.
Oh, for sure. Young and dumb.
Oh,
all chapters in growth. I look back at it now and all the fights and stupid shit, and they're fun stories. And I tell the kids about times of getting my ass kicked and jumped at a cheerleading event. And
you got jumped at a cheerleading event?
I got the shit kicked out of me.
What, at a cheerleading event?
Yeah.
What, are you taking someone's pom-pom, buddy?
My buddy was, and I was with him.
Your buddy actually took a pom-pom?
No, he took a chick. And her pom-poms. Apparently, it was our rival school. We're having a cheerleading match. He's like, let's go. I'm talking to one of the girls. I'm like, all right, I'll go with you. We roll out there. All the football players and wrestlers are just, and it's him and I. We're the only ones. He's like chirping off his wannabe girl, just girls.
Yeah.
Right? We go to
women,
the root of all evil, right? Until you find a good one.
Yeah.
Man, they were waiting for us, and him and the other guy start getting into it. And as soon as my buddy hits the ground, I'm like, "Oh, time for me to step in." And that's when, so we got jumped. I mean, he got the worst of it. I was trying to get under a car. They kept getting drug out. Dude, they stomped me out. But it was one of those ones though, where you just at the end, when it's over, you look at each other, and you're like,
gotta.
Just
cover up.
Yeah, 100% getting stomped out. I think the worst I've ever been beat up was by like a 130-pound dude in a bar.
Really?
He hit me so many times, I didn't even know I was in a fight. He was already walking out the door before I even processed. It was like a wasp. Just lit me up. I literally didn't even know I was in a fight. It was one of those like, which one of y'all kicked me kind of deal. Yeah, little guy chirped off, and thought I was big, and man, he lit my ass up. And that was a moment where I was like, I'm going to look at people's ears from now on a little bit more. And
Got to watch that cauliflower.
kind of watch their foot placement. I just came in cocky, and man, he dotted me up, lit me top to bottom and back down again.
That's so funny. Well, but you got to, at least me, we learned the hard way. Actually, it's so interesting. I got one more scrap after that scrap, and it resulted in, I actually was striking with a guy. We're on the front porch after a party at a house, and I think he got the best of me at one point. We were rolling around, and luckily my boy Robbie Claiborne, state champ from high school, came up and just teed that guy up, just field goal that kicked him, right? And he was not a kicker, but that night he was. And so then we go off on this guy, and I remember the guy ended up I broke his collarbone. I think I accidentally hit him. It wasn't like I was doing a good job. I think I struck him the wrong way, either come down on him and broke his collarbone. So the next day I found out I broke the guy's collarbone from a buddy. And I'm like, well, okay, that was a bad idea for him to get in a fight. And I'm cocky in my own mind. And all of a sudden I get a knock on the door, and I go down, there's a cop, and there's blood all over my sidewalk. And so I'm like, oh. And at this point, I just started working with Alan and Amp.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I was now a manager and I'm like, so I have responsibility. And I open the door, and this cop looks at me, and he's looking at the blood because I didn't clean it up. And he goes, hey, I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for this address. And I go, what? He goes, I just looking for this address. And I go, oh, it's around the corner. And he looks at the blood. He goes, huh. I go, and I say nothing. He goes, see you later. He was just literally lost. But my gut sank because I'm like, oh, that guy called the cops.
For sure.
I broke his collarbone. I'm going to get sued. And I'm like, and at that point, I'm like, Shane, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Like, for what? For ego, right? And most of the time it's ego.
It wasn't a big ego thing for me. I got in a fight a few years back. The dude pulled the gun on me. This dude was going to shoot me, and I dove on him. It was a crazy ordeal. We were just going to lunch. I actually had a job interview. And
what, in Idaho?
Yeah, the UPS right here down the street.
Pom-poms and UPS.
Yeah,
See,
man.
You pick very eccentric places to get in your scraps.
Hey, locked and loaded, right? I don't start them. My problem is I cannot not finish.
Wait, hold up. So you're like dropping off a package?
Going to lunch with my wife. I just sat down with this company. They were going to hire me on to take on all this stuff. So we're going out to like celebrate for lunch. We're like, cool. Just picked up a new client, dope ass company. We go to lunch. She's like, hey, real quick, we're going to go drop off a package real quick at the post office. And so she was already in her truck when I pulled up. So I just jumped in with her. So I'm sitting in the passenger seat, get out of my truck, jump in with her. She already got hers loaded up to go to the post office.
Yeah.
So she rolls in, grabs the boxes, and she's like, okay, I'll be right out. I'm on the phone, and I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, bam, someone hits my truck or my wife's truck. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking around. Just big biker dude just swings his door open and slams it off the side of the driver's side of my truck. He's just sitting there, like literally with his foot on the door, pushing it against my truck. So I lean over and I roll down the window. I'm like, yo, get your foot and door off my truck. She's like, it's not on yours. I'm like, it's on my truck. Get it off. He goes, what are you going to do? Pride, ego. Well, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I get out, and this dude is massive. Full bike leathers, ponytail, just large human being. And I'm like, here we go. Once you cross the line, there's
you're all in.
We're cool. Thanks for damaging my truck. No, dude, as a man. And so I'm like, dude, if you got to be an asshole, we could handle this either way. I asked you politely, but now that you want to cross this line, here we go. Now you got my attention. And he steps up and he gets in my face and starts doing this deal, screaming and spitting. I'm backing up. Finally, like I push him. He goes flying, right? There was a little bit more to it, but he goes flying. When he lands and smacks his head off the concrete. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. So I walk over. I'm like, okay, cool. Now you learned your lesson. Like, you're on the ground. I'm not. And I go to reach out and grab his hand to help him up. Mm-hmm. He goes, you're going to learn. You're going to pay today. And so by this point, my wife runs out. She's like, 2 minutes. I can't leave you alone for 2 minutes. And I'm like, he started it. And so she's on one side of him. I'm on the other. And he's like, you're going to pay. And I see him reaching. And I'm watching. And, dude, he fucking pulls his gun out as he's laying on the ground and right at me. And I dive. I was a martial arts instructor. I taught for the Marine Corps and shit. So this is like disarming somebody.
This is actually the moment. This is your
trained my whole
moment.
life for this.
Combatives, because you talk combatives, right?
100%.
This is you looked at, actually, everything paused. You looked at your wife and you went, this is it. And then you jumped.
The Kevin Hart, it's about to go down. You know, like that skit that he does.
This is it.
I'm like,
this is your moment.
It
Secretly,
was,
your
man.
heart's fluttering with excitement.
I didn't even have a chance to process. And so I just dive right on, side mount this dude, take control of the wrist, bend his arm. So he almost flags my wife as he draws.
Yeah.
So then I grab his arm, roll it. I roll the pistol out of his arm and I throw it down the sidewalk, look dead at my wife. I go, get his fucking gun. And then I just commenced to just beating this dude's ass. I hit him with some elbows and stuff. Big old dude. I think at one point my thumb was touching the roof of his mouth from the outside because I was just holding him. I watched my wife. She grabs a gun, drops a mag, and freaking racks a round out of the chamber. And so after you learn a few quick lessons, I get up and I still go to help him up. I'm like, dude, you're gonna kill me? Like you started this whole entire thing.
Dude.
Cops come. There was a huge shit show, and then. Yeah, it was a random ordeal, but that was one of those ones. I'm like, but at that point, I'm like, bro, if you're that disrespectful for somebody's
But you know what's
personal
funny?
property,
It was a boot. In hindsight, it's a boot in a truck, right? Like, because I ran the same thing. I had a gun pulled on me at a party in college. I was bouncing around in the colleges and the different parties actually at our college. And one of the fraternities, Phi Beta Sigma, primarily black fraternity, and my buddies, Daneko and Mario, they're the presidents and everything. So I could show up. I could do my thing. It was great. And at this particular time, there was, in hindsight, some gangster dude there. And I bump into some guy, and some guy bumps into me. And I'm like this standalone, I'm standing out a little bit here.
Yeah.
And literally the guy's like, F you. And I go, well, F you, because I'm not going to let some guy bump me. And that guy goes, oh, really? And we start having words. And he goes, well, I'll just fucking kill you. And I go, we'll do it. And he pulls his shirt up, and there's a 9mm looked like. And I go, do it. And he stupid. And so he pulls the gun, and as he's pointing at me, my buddy Daneko Watts, who's this badass 2-time All-American, he still coaches college, comes in and pushes the gun down and goes, he's with me. And we're in the middle of this party and everything, and I'm kind of surrounded. I realize the situation. He goes, he's with me. And he goes, he's with you? He goes, he's with me, bro. And the guy goes, all right, if you're signing off. And it was like this weird moment. The guy goes outside. Later that night, shot someone in the foot.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah, he went out there and like shot the gun off and shot someone else. Fast forward in time.
You're like, thanks, homie.
Yeah, no. Daneko didn't even know about it. 2 years ago. So my buddies, we get together for Guys Weekend. That national championship team, we get together, a core of them. And I'm telling Daneko, go, remember the time you like helped me not get shot? He goes, no. I go, bro. And I tell him about the situation. He's like, he had a gun? I go,
he didn't even know?
Didn't even know. He came up situationally, and when he put the guy's arms down, probably because he thought he was trying to put hands on me, and he didn't know he had a gun the whole time. I'm like, dude, you literally saved my life. He's like, dude, that's the guy that shot the person outside. I'm like, he shot someone outside. But that's what God's always looked after me. I'm telling you, like I have utmost faith. I know it's always going to work out. I'm telling you, dude, it always works out for me. If I need a point in the last seconds in jiu-jitsu or something, he'll give it to me if he wants to win, and you'll break my arm if he wants me to lose. Yep. And if he wants me to, hey, I'll get in stupid situations, and energetically, he'll put a world-class athlete in my life to help out, or I'll go left instead of right, or I'm telling you, dude, God is so good to me. It is off the chain.
Isn't that an incredible feeling?
Dude, it's amazing.
It is.
And we do a Bible study every Thursday with a bunch of friends that a lot of us lived wild chaos stories. And, now everybody's calm, and we have these stories, and we're so glad we're not doing those stories anymore. Like you and I exchange these stories.
They're fun to reminisce on, but I couldn't live the life that I was doing now. Absolutely not.
How exhausting too.
Not even just that, how dangerous. And then I have daughters, and thank God I don't have sons that are watching and emulating their father being some grumpy asshole that's snapping at everybody in traffic and being that guy. Like that's cool, dude. You're an alpha dude, but at what cost?
Yeah.
You're this big alpha tough dude, but you're not living for your kids. Instead, you're living for yourself. And that was those gut check moments where, okay, cool, that was way too close. Like, why am I doing that? All because a guy slammed into my truck.
Put a boot.
you know, just, I mean, it was more in a boot. I mean, the way he chipped my paint, you know, left a little dent in my truck, but he slammed his door.
Pom-poms and UPS, man. You need to watch out.
There's been some other random places, but yeah.
But it's interesting how, like, I think about my father, and my father is biblical. I mean, he wishes he could be in the forest connecting with God, reading his Bible, away from society.
Good for
him. He really does. The problem is, he has humans he created and family, and he's such an awesome leader and family man that's why he's so close to society. But he still this day has never told me a story about any fights he's been in. But there's these stories, and random people come up to me, and I think about my dad, and when he leaned into the Lord is when he lost a lot of stuff. Him and my mom got a divorce. His ego was high. He basically describes it as he lost everything. And he leaned into God. And so I see this. My dad's so strong to this day, just a powerful man. Like, but he, like, Lord is what he's passionate for. And so if you redirect, a lot of people out there have that drinking, fighting, achievement mindset. And my dad wrestled in the Junior Olympics. He was second in state wrestling. He was a stud. But if you redirect that energy towards other things, you can live a healthy life.
And just as fun of a life.
And just as fun.
That doesn't cost you as much in learning lessons either.
Oh, yeah. There's some attrition on our bodies.
Yeah, 100%. So after college and the wild chaos life that you were living, when did it really start to shift as far as travel and business? Is that when you jumped on with Alan and started helping grow that? Or
yeah, I think what happened was I got back and I was sleeping on my buddy's couch because then I turned down the teaching job.
Yep.
My old coach, I was going to take over eventually the wrestling program and things. And I sat down to sign my teaching. I was signing up to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Because I substitute taught, all this stuff. And with a history degree in Idaho, you could skip an education degree. So there was a loophole. Thank you, system.
Yep.
And I was going to sign up until he said, hey, man, you'll coach wrestling, football, if you want to do track, and you'll teach. And then for the next 30 years or 40 years, you'll grow your retirement. And he goes, and there you go. And I go, what'd you say? He goes, there you go.
30 years.
And I go, I'm out. And he's like, well, what do you mean? And so I didn't teach. My firefighting boss, I was wildland firefighter 4 years, had all my credentials to start being a crew boss.
Yep.
I told him I'm out on that. Awesome stuff. But the last fire I was on, the very next helicopter flight, that crashed. And the guy I hung out with for 2 weeks died in that crash. And so It wasn't the crash that scared me off. It was the fact that I was a squad boss and we were up and I would do weather every hour for about a week and a half and we'd chopper onto this mountain.
Yep.
And I hung out with the guy a whole bunch. He had a couple bachelor's degrees, smart, smoke jumper, cool dude. He would sit and teach me things because he had nothing to do. I was just the weather guy on the fire, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, man, I'm going to cut you guys off loose early. You can go stay down at this cabin in McCall. This was in Pineville or whatever. It's up in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And so I was like, cool. And so I literally talked to this guy every hour for weather for a week and a half. He cuts us loose. We leave. I think they flew off the mountain. I don't know if it's a week later or 5 days later, but where we were landing the chopper was on a little rock. And so you'd have to bail off the chopper really quick.
Yep.
And so it couldn't stay. And so that next chopper flight with him, I think 2 others and the pilot clipped a tree or something and boom, dead.
Damn.
And I'm like, well, that's interesting because I could have been on that chopper flight.
Yep.
Right. And we were choppering up a whole bunch.
For sure.
And I was like, that guy, 2 bachelor's degrees, smoke jumpers, 20 years, awesome guy, intelligent.
Gone.
He's dead. And my friend Anthony quit firefighting because of that. And I wasn't scared of that. I was just like, well, that's the end. That's where it ends. Like, that's poking the bear. So I didn't want to do public education because I felt after Doc McLean told me I'd get smothered.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to do firefighting anymore because I'm like, well, do I want to be beat up on the forest? And then so I was just sleeping on my buddy's couch and I passed up a whole bunch of jobs and I just didn't have any money and I was sleeping on the couch. So now I'm a bum that doesn't have money and I'm in debt $30,000 with my student loans.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, well, dude, I thought you are guaranteed a job because I have a degree. Right?
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I thought it'd be All-State football. People care. No one cares.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally was like sitting there figuring out what am I going to do? So I was like, what do I have to do? I go, I'm pretty good at throwing parties. And so I hit up the knitting factory at the time. What's it called? Is it called knitting factory still?
I think so, right?
Yeah. It was called something else time. And I go, hey, I want to apply for your internship here. And they respond, they go, there is no internship. And I go, and so I just responded, yeah, that's why I'm hitting you up. And they came back, they're like, well, we don't. I'm like, no, and I was just making up as I go. I was like, no, I have an internship I created for you guys. And I had nothing. And they're like, well, we went back and forth. Finally, they're like, just come in. So I'm like, awesome. Because I'm like, if I can go throw parties for a living, I can make money.
Yep.
So I go in, and I never had anything written down. I was just BSing the whole time. I was like, I have an internship. Well, I just wanted a job.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have an internship where you shadow the guy that runs it, and then you mentor me up, and then I can be a manager.
And you're lying about all this?
Yeah, I was making it up.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, okay. And so I back and forth like a month, and finally, just making it up because it sounded like a good idea.
Yeah.
So I was like, how am I going to get a job and not be a teacher? So finally, this guy, they go, okay, you have a meeting with Dean. Dean's the dude that runs it. Dean's the dude. Okay. Right? All right.
Okay.
I finally got the Dean after a month of bullshitting.
You got to the guy.
So I sit down. I didn't have enough money to print off paper, so I drew a calendar, and I found the next 2 months of concerts. And so I went in with Dean. I sit down, and I go to say something, and he goes, stop. He goes, stop. I get it. You're here because of internship. We don't have an internship, but you have an internship. He's like, let's skip it all. I'm going to give you 5 minutes because you're wearing a tie. I'm going to give you 5 minutes because you're wearing a suit jacket. And then you got another couple minutes because somehow you got in front of me.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. He goes, nobody in Idaho wears a tie anymore. I go, okay, because someone told me in a class. So I go, I only need 2 minutes. I go, I'm going to work for you for free forever. And that was it. That was my pitch. And he goes, what's in it for you? I go, I want to learn how to do business. I don't know how to do business. I have a degree in teaching. I don't want to be a teacher, and I think I can do events.
Damn, that's smart.
And he goes, so what's in it for you? I said, you get a guy full-time as your assistant the whole time, and I'm going to build an internship that you guys can use later, and then you can pass it on if you want and get it accredited. And he goes, that's the get? And that's my pitch.
Okay.
He goes, and he grabs my resume and he looks at it and he goes, you threw parties? No, he said you threw events in college, which were parties, but they were events.
Events in business
Because
world.
Skull in Copenhagen would give me stuff and energy drinks. I actually had some sponsorships.
No kidding.
Yeah. And so he's like, 900 people, this one, 500 people. Yeah. And he goes, well, where do we go from here? And I go, I start tonight. He goes, what do you mean? Like, you have a concert at 6 o'clock. I'm 3 hours early. And he goes, okay, and what's the schedule? And I hand him his calendar for the next 2 months. I'm like, I'll be here every single time.
No kidding.
So I'd get up. So what I did is I substitute taught. I'd get up and get $50 for substitute teaching at 5 a.m. And I'd go teach when they call. That's like 1 or 2 times a week. And then I'd drive to the concert house and work till 3 a.m. at the concert house. And I would just work for free for 2-3 months. And in my CD player that was broken was a song that was stuck, Rock Superstar by Cypress Hill.
Oh, yeah.
It was just stuck on repeat.
Yeah.
So I have this crappy car, like $7 car Bondo, and it's like Rock Superstar, Live Large. And all I did was jam. And I'm a substitute teacher sleeping on my buddy Jason's couch. I have no money, nothing. And I'm working, but I made a deal to work for free. So I was working all the time for nothing. And I would sit there and and I would learn from the guy and the whole works. I got to meet Twista the Rapper and UFC fighters. And so I learned so much. And finally, all of a sudden, I realized they were firing one of the managers. And I'm like, this is it. And Dean sat me down and he goes, hey, man, I want to pay you. You're working all the time like a dog. He goes, I want to pay you like $20 an hour.
How long was it at this point?
I think it was like 3 months in.
Okay, cool.
2 or 3 months.
Yeah. So you're busting your ass.
Dude, I have no money. I'm just, And he goes, I want to pay you. And I go, no. He goes, maybe $10, 15, 20. I just remember $20 an hour or something like that.
You're like, oh God.
I was like, I make $50 a day. I'm making $100 a week. And he said $20 an hour. And I'm like, and I go, no. He goes, what do you mean? I said, we shook hands that I never get paid. So if I take the money, I'm lying. And we made a deal. And I'm sticking to our deal. And he's like, it's like that. I go, it's like that. So the next
respect that.
day he offers me the management position, which is a salary position. And I'm like, did it. And he's like, oh, pretty good plan, bud. He's like, you did it. I'm like, sweet. So that night there was a rapper called Twista.
Oh yeah.
And I end up self-proclaiming myself the person that picks the girls to go backstage or not, right? And I end up hanging out. So yeah, I just made the position
so you're just picking hot chicks that you like.
Yeah. And so Twister thinks I'm somebody. I hang out with Twister a little bit. The whole works. And then at night we're counting money. And I'm sitting there with Dean counting money, drinking a beer with Dean. I'm like, this is it. I made it. And I say out loud, I'm like, dude, I can't wait to make six figures. And he goes, 6 figures? He's like, bro, you're going to start at like 40, crawl your way up to 50, maybe 60.
If you're lucky, top out.
And I'm like, slowly, I'm counting the money slower.
Processing.
I'm like, wait. He's like, no. He's like, Shane, the only place you make 6 figures is sales. At your age, he's like, you got no credentials. The only place you make 6 figures is sales. And ironically, between substitute teaching, doing an internship for free, on the weekends, I would knock doors trying to sell alarms locally with a buddy that made money. And so I was literally working 3 jobs making no money because I was not good. I didn't sell anything. So for 3-4 months, I didn't. Yeah. I tried. I had 2 people and they canceled. So I was making no money. But he said that and I couldn't get it out of my head.
Yep.
And I went home and I'm like, all I knew is rich people didn't have debt. Rich people knew about money. Rich people did that. And rich people weren't sleeping on Jason Curl's couch. Yeah. And so I was like, I went to Dean. I go, hey, man, I appreciate the job. I'm going to turn down. I'm going to do door-to-door sales, fully commission. And he goes, what? And we talked for a little while. And he's like, you worked for free all this time. And you're just going to turn it down to door-to-door sales with commission. I go, but you told me the only way to make 6 figures, and I need to clear my $30,000 in debt, is to do sales. You told me that. And I go, I trust your opinion. And he starts laughing. And he goes, you're going to be all right.
You'll make it.
And so I went out and did door-to-door sales. And out of the gates, man, my first 5 weeks, I make $700.
Bro, sales? Door-to-door sales. We all hate salesmen, right?
Yeah.
When you knock at your door, you sit down at dinner, your doorbell rings, you got some 18-year-old kids standing there, and you're immediately like, oh, God. There are so many skills that come from door-to-door sales. Dude. Our little one, she has a little rake leafing business in the fall.
Yeah.
First year, she'd knock a couple. Second year, but her biggest fear was the thought of rejection.
Yeah, it's the what if, the feeling.
They're going to say no. Let them tell you no, kid. Guess what? Look at all these other houses. And they're all going to tell, this is what I'm telling her. And they're all going to tell you no. I go, but one of them's going to say yeah, and guess what? You're going to make $20. And guess what she'd do? She'd go door to door, door to door, door to... Everybody's telling her no. Now this little shit has reoccurring clients in this neighborhood. Now when the first leaf hits the ground, we're getting texts. Hey, she still got the business. I'd love to give her business. And there's these kids over here in a house a couple streets back. They're young kids, but they have their own I think it's a pool cleaning, something. But they respect her as this little hustler because they're all like these college grad. They might be actually still be in college, but all their trucks are wrapped. They got these little Tacomas.
Yeah.
So they're hustling and they see her show up. They give her $100. Dude. She's like, Dad, $100. I'm like, you never stopped, kid. You stopped. But just the fact that you can teach a little girl, this little child, 8, 9, 10 years, 12 now, rejection. And that, dude, she's not going to see it now. And it's going to be years before. Mm-hmm. Same with her. Of overcoming rejection is one of the biggest holdups I personally feel in people's lives. And I want to get in this with sales. But to be able to teach your kids at such a young age, or anybody, these young kids, like, hey, no, I'm not interested. Get off my prop. Whatever comes out along with those. Obviously, nobody's talking to my daughter like that. But the fact that people not interested, hey, no, don't even answer the door, and you just see the little defeat, but then you get a little taste of victory when somebody's like, absolutely, and she's writing down their name, their number, the address, and okay, I'll come back on this point, and then she's touching up yards, and it's an incredible skill. I had a kid here recently, knocks on my door, and I'm in the garden. I come out all sweaty, no shirt, shorts on, tattoos, and you can tell this kid's like the perfect, lived in a little village in Idaho somewhere, he's never experienced anything. And he's giving me his pitch, and you could just tell. You could just, he's shaking. He's all nervous. And I'm like, this was just a few weeks ago. I go, listen, bud. I go, what do you sell? And he's like, it's pest control. And I'm like, today's your lucky day. I was like, you know what? I got a crazy garden in the backyard. The spiders are insane. I was like, it needs to be organic. And I picture, I go, how many have you closed on? I'm like, how long have you been doing this? He's like, today's my first day. He goes, and I've hit, I think it was like 30 something houses. And it's actually toward later on in the end of the day. He's like, I've been out here all day. I haven't had one person even say anything. And I'm like, I'm going to give you your first sale.
Awesome.
I was like, you know what? Sign it up. I want this thing. He's like, really? He calls his boss. The boss comes to help him go through. He's like, is this okay? And I'm on the phone with the boss. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'll be here. We'll walk him through the contract. Because I know how it is starting.
Yeah. Nobody
gives you a shot. There's no opportunities. And that one little sell is going to motivate him he might potentially be some top sales agent one day. But I just want to give the kid the opportunity. And yeah, I saw him a few days later. I'm like, yo, we closed any more? He's like, 2. I got 2. But it was several days later. I saw him on the other side of the neighborhood and just doing it. But the skills that come with door to door is insane.
Yeah, like and why don't people do it? Well, let's go back to uncomfort and, you know what I mean? And like, what if, and the anxiety and the stress of it. And to go, you think about that kid. I had people like help me. I remember my first deal. I remember the first.
Do you?
Oh, dude, I remember. It was like, because I tried a couple times, I kept failing. And so I was like embarrassed because here I was supposed to be this all-American college athlete, all-state, degrees, all this stuff, everything. And I'm sleeping on my buddy's couch with a shitty car that says rap superstar. And I got no money. And then my friend was like, hey, man, I'll just loan you the money to fly out. I will fly you on a one-way flight to North Carolina. Because now I've turned down everything. And I'm not a firefighter anymore. Yep. I'm not an athlete anymore. I'm not going to manage a concert house. So I have no cool.
There's no purpose right now.
I got no cool, nothing, right? I just know I'm in debt, right?
That's not going anywhere.
That ain't going anywhere. They want that money back. So my friend made a deal. He's like, I'll fly you to your college graduation. My mom came because she didn't buy her ticket the year before. Fly you to college graduation as long as you land in North Carolina. And so I flew out there, land in North Carolina, and just got annihilated. I sucked. Dude, I wasn't doing the pitch. My ego was too high. This is how I should do it. And I literally probably made, I think it was like $600-700 the first 5 weeks. So that means after they were charging us like a couple $100 a week in rent, I made like ramen noodles.
Yep.
Like my buddy Ben Manjack was basically paying for all my stuff.
Yep. What a good friend.
Yeah. Like he's a badass athlete, like all-state soccer, stud, junior Olympic guy, tried out for the Olympic team. And he literally paid for all my stuff, and he was good. Out of the gates, he sold too. Ben's natural suave sales guy.
Yep.
And I sucked. And then I remember I called my dad, and I went, okay, I got to quit. And guess what my dad said?
Nope.
He said, quit.
Oh, really?
I'm like, what a tactic. I go, I'm not making any money. I'm in debt. This sucks. The whole works. I call him bitching, and he goes, then quit. I go, what do you mean? He goes, hold up. He's like, Shane, just to be clear, because that Doc McLean, go back to Doc. He got in my head. He got in my freaking head. He goes, you're the one that said you wanted to travel the world. You're the one that said you want to be debt free. You're the one that said you want to be a millionaire. You're the one that said you want to go on ventures. And now you're having a little adversity and the world's too big for you. He's like, then you should just quit.
Damn.
He's like, come back. Get a job, Waste Cascade. A lot of the family's there. Get a normal job. Sleep on Jason's couch.
Arctic Circle's hiring.
Yeah, he goes, no one cares. He goes, dude, nobody. And I think that's what a lot of people out there need to realize. Nobody will ever care more than you.
Yep.
No one's ever going to care more than you.
Yep.
And if you have a little bit of stress and a little bit of adversity and people are making fun of you, that is what you should do. If people are making fun of you and they're mocking you, that's what you should do. If it's stressful, that's what you should do. You should lean. Now, not party, drinking, unhealthy stuff. So he literally goes, all right, you should quit. And I go, and I get off and I go, all right, I'm going to, or he goes, other than quit, maybe you should listen to your coaches. You should listen to your managers and buy in. Quit or buy in, son. Don't waste people's time.
Two options.
Right. And he's an old school coach, right? I coach wrestling all the time. So I get up in the morning and I literally I was training everything. And that next week, dude, guess what I sold?
Nothing.
0.
That's how it goes.
0. And that Saturday, I said the reason why I'm not selling is I'm not hungry or thirsty enough. So that Saturday, I wasn't going to eat or drink till I got a sale. And I ran door to door, physically door to door. I was like, attrition. And I get done, and my buddy Ben's like, "What are you doing? You're sweaty at 2 on the day,
Showing up at houses. Would you like to look this?
Yeah, I'm like running around North Carolina just sweating, and I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. And Benny sold like 4 or 5 this week. Suave Benny. He pulls up. He's like, get in the car. We drive to the end of the street. He goes, watch this. He's like, this is the game. I'm going to be a foreign exchange student from Romania. I won't speak English. You're my interpreter. Let's sell a deal. So probably not ethical. Probably not a good idea. But
old school sales.
But he like old school
What do you kids know about this?
Yeah, you guys don't know about the Romanian exchange students.
This isn't in your playbook.
The old deported clothes.
Yeah.
So he was like, you just need to have fun. He's like, dude, you're just too tense. He's like, you suck. He's like, you suck. So we start doing it, and he's speaking Romanian. He's running around pretending to put the sign in the yard. And this guy's like, well, we kind of want an alarm anyways. And then Benny like pretends like he's sad. I go, what's he doing? I go, and he speaks to me in Romanian, which I don't speak Romanian. I go, well, he says like if he doesn't get the sale, he's going to get deported.
No.
Straight up. And the guy goes, oh, we can't have that. I'm like, we can't. He's like, well, I wanted one anyways. I might as well buy it from you guys. I'm like, awesome. So we get the sale. Ben puts it in my name, and we go and we sit down, and I'm like, and we're sitting there at this bench. And then we're just like, man, all we are is a door slam in the face. He's like, you said it. We suck. And we're laughing. And I'm like, and he's like, dude, keep the deal. And he's like, dude, he had to go try out for the Olympics, the actual Olympic team for the U.S. Olympic soccer team. He's like, I go, I might quit. He's like, bro, keep the deal. Don't quit. Because if you quit, I won't come back. But he's like, Shane, he's like, you need to, he literally goes, just have fun.
Yeah.
And my other 2 buddies, they're like, just do the pitch. Keep it simple.
Make it fun.
Have fun. And have fun with people. Mm-hmm. The next week, I think I made $15,000 in 6 days.
Really?
$15,000 in 6 days. And I went on and I made like $47,000 in 3 months. I paid off all my student loan debt, 25, 30K, cut a check, started my portfolio, gave $10,000 to a guy named Dan that I didn't really know, Dan Wells. And he told me something about if you put the money in bonds, it'll be there. I kept $5,000. I paid my rent to my buddy that was sleeping on his couch for a year. And we went to Europe and backpack Europe and got our wallet stolen and everything in Oktoberfest and ended up sleeping on the streets in Switzerland because we ran out of money. That was a wild 3 months. And I came back. But after that, all of a sudden my life changed. I can make money. I made double what I had made as a teacher. I'm debt free. I just went around Europe and my mind is like, whoa, wait a second. And I came back and went, oh. And it was like, this is it. This is how I'm not poor. This is how my son's not in a trailer house. This is how I can get ahead. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard, but it's not impossible. And I'm like, I don't have to be able to, dyslexic, ADD, nobody cares. Walk around, dress like a golfer, smile, talk to people, and just work.
And have fun.
And that's when I knew I was never doing door-to-door sales again because it sucked. So like, even though I knew, I didn't know. And so, but remember we talked about it's simple but the human mind.
Yeah.
So then I should have been sold, right? Because I'm debt-free, traveling the world. But now I'm poor again.
Yep.
And I should have been sold, but my ego, and once again, my mind gets in the way. So now I'm like, well, how can I be a door-to-door salesman? How embarrassing. So then I'm like, well, I'll do something else until Jason and I got drunk and watched Shark Week.
God. How does that lead into anything?
So that's when I started my business. So I am with Jason, we're watching Shark Week, drinking too much, and we're like, dude, those sharks are awesome. And you know when they come out of the water,
yep.
And there's at the time there's only one spot in the world, Africa.
Yep.
Once again, 2, 3 a.m. Let's buy tickets. Okay. So we just buy tickets to Africa. We don't think anything of it. Next day or two, Jason's like, bro, I got to alert. We have tickets to Africa. I go, what? And we're like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Guess we're going.
So we fly to Africa,
Where'd you guys go fly into?
Cape Town.
Okay.
Have you been?
No, Johannesburg is where I've flown in. And
Oh yeah,
then
no.
then we flew north.
Okay, you at Johannesburg and skipped out. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do the cave?
No. I was just hunting there. So we were
What'd you hunt?
everything. It was fun. I took a buddy with me. Ended up eating a meat pocket from a gas station and got like almost died. And it was.
You what?
Yeah, I brought a guy with me. We weren't friends at the time, and
What, now that you almost died, now you are friends?
trauma bonded.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I thought this guy
did
was going
he
to die
eat
on
the
my
same
watch.
thing?
No, I told him not to eat it.
Oh, you got sick that quick?
He did, not me.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it was. Well, there was like a little, not a protest or a riot, but they shut down the roads and they're burning tires and all the trash, and there's no like movement on where we were in the roads in these little villages and shit. And then it cleared up a couple days later. We're gonna go kill this black giraffe. Well, the gas station had been shut down for a few days because of this protest, and so we show up I'm in one truck. He's my boy now, and the guy at the time, Tanner, he's in another truck. We're gonna split up and go look for this giant giraffe. And we go into this little gas station to grab some stuff for the morning, and he comes out with this meat pocket. It's literally called a meat pocket, I believe. liver and onion meat pocket. Little backstory: this guy is an accountant. He's hardcore LDS, born and raised, so he's never done anything wild in his life. Very sheltered, no adventures, and so he wins this hunt to come hunt with me in Africa.
And this is his first time leaving America.
I don't know about leaving America, but he was a horrible shot. I don't even think he's ever killed anything. I'm like, this guy's the opposite, a complete polar opposite of everything I am. And I'm like, I'm gonna be stuck in Africa with an accountant
that can't shoot.
This dork that can't even shoot. I'm like, dude, whatever. We're gonna have fun. And we're best friends. He's one of the greatest dudes I had in my life. And so he comes out with this meat pocket, and I was like, I don't know if I'd eat that, dude. And he's like, he's actually already eating. He's like, it's actually pretty good. You want to bite? I was like, yeah, I'm good. Meat pocket in Africa, I'll pass on that one. I'll eat some raw meat before I'm eating. We linked back up that afternoon. He's green, sweating, and I'm like, you don't look so good. He's like, I feel like shit. Yeah, and there was 2 days we thought he was gonna die, like bedridden, just.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, we're trauma bonded over that. I thought I was gonna lose this giveaway winner on a hunt, and yeah, so it was
miserable.
Yeah, but Africa, wild.
Africa, dude, Africa's great. I've
loved Africa.
Been several times, and every country is just a different experience. I mean,
what's your favorite country in Africa?
I think it was more each country was a different experience, because once I was scuba diving, once was sharks, once was scuba diving, once Kilimanjaro, one was just Morocco because we were at Gibraltar and we could see Africa. So the Rock of Gibraltar is at the tip of Spain. Okay. And it's still owned by England. It's one of the most disputed chunks of land in the history of the world. It's where Eisenhower, I believe Eisenhower ran our World War II invasion.
Really?
It's this huge rock. Yeah, Gibraltar is a huge rock, and there's cave systems, and there's cannons still in it that can shoot miles.
No kidding.
Yeah, there's all these World War II ornaments still in there.
That's cool.
Yeah, we snuck over the fence, like dodged security, me and my buddy Ryan Lee, and snuck over the fence and crawled all the way up and then went into the caves. It's all like blocked off. You can't get into it unless you sneak past and got to get past the apes. There's some wild apes up there too.
Really?
Yeah, they're wild.
Oh shit! No,
I think it's the only spot in Europe that there's apes or any type of monkey.
No idea.
Yeah, it's just on Gibraltar. It's its own little country. England still owns it.
Interesting.
It's right at the tip.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, so each one of my experiences was a little bit different, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they're all cool. How many you been a couple times, obviously? Or
yeah, just the hunting part on the South Africa, and then the only other part I've been to was Egypt. We did the Suez Canal, went into
I did Egypt. That's
went
cool.
to the Red Sea. We actually splashed our vehicles off the back of naval ships and went up onto land on Elizabeth Beach. I guess. So I went to Egypt and I dove the Red Sea. There's a ship, a World War II ship named the Thistledorm, and the Luftwaffe bombed it. Did we shore dive Elizabeth? I need to see where that's at. Anyways, so you can swim in this ship and there's tanks in it still and trains and ornaments. Really?
Yeah, it's still like you could swim through it to this day.
That's badass. Yeah, we did it's called Operation Bright Star, where we do this joint task force mission.
Like they just, like, were you Really? You're just assaulting the...
Well, no, so it's called Operation Bright Star. So the Egyptians, I don't know how often they do it, but the Americans and our naval fleet go up the Suez Canal, which is horrible. They shut off all the toilets and everything. You're only allowed to flush once a day through the Suez Canal. It's 150 degrees. So like inside the ship, in the depths of the ship, everyone's sweating. The shit is piled up out over the toilet seats. And you're just cruising the Suez Canal. And then you get up into the Red Sea, or is it the Red Sea through the Suez? Well, anyways. And so we splash our vehicles for the Marines. We go off ship to shore.
Yeah.
And we train with the Egyptians for a month out in the desert. It was horrible.
Oh. I'm like, cool.
I can say I've been to bumfuck Egypt. I can literally say I have been there. Dude, the flies were horrendous. You see those videos of little African kids and flies, and they're all over their mouths in the corners. That literally was us. Like you're having a conversation. This is us talking the whole time. You're just...
What are these flies living on?
I have no
I've always
idea.
pictured that because World War II, it talks about the flies out in the middle of the desert. But the whole time I'm like, what's out there?
Bro, you'd sit down in the shitters. We built... It wasn't even a shitter. It was a hole in the ground with an MRE box. Like a wooden crate. And you'd sit back to back with your buddy. So you're sitting back to back. And as soon as you sat down, this... You know, like the mummy when it opens his mouth, and all the flies or what locusts come out of it, that would come between your legs, and they're just in your mouth. So you're holding your breath, trying to take a shit. It's 150 degrees. Your water is 150 degrees. You'd try to take a nap and put a towel over your face, and the flies would crawl under your mouth just to get to the moisture.
Shut up.
And they gave us these little blue crystals, and you'd crush them up and put them in a little cap and put water in there, and you'd watch these flies come, and they'd drink it, and they'd turn blue, and they go... and just fall out of the sky dead. What? So you're sweeping your vehicles out like multiple times a day because you got an inch layer of dead flies everywhere in your vehicle. And we just sat in the desert and rotted. That's when I discovered these little holes in the ground. And I got my shovel, my little e-tool, and I'd scoop and like flick and scoop and flick. And I scooped and flicked, dude, this giant scorpion.
No way.
I'm like... So then we discovered these little holes have scorpions in them. So then we're going through the desert collecting scorpions and these giant beetles. We're having scorpion fights in like MRE cans, and we're all
and you're betting, naming them
100%. And so yeah, dude, Egypt was. The beaches were beautiful. I mean, the last 3 days we got to actually sit on the beach with our vehicles, waiting for the naval ships to come back and pick us up. And so it was.
Isn't that interesting about like Africa and stuff? The extremes, the beauty, the poverty, the beaches, right? The Egyptian beach is amazing, right? You get off and you're on a safari. The animals are beautiful, and then all of a sudden, down in Cape Town, you take a right and you're in poverty.
Yup.
Like extreme poverty. Those they call them shanty towns, right? Is that what they call them, or something like that? What do they call it? Anyway, but it's like 10 roofs and boards.
Yep.
And people don't have anything.
Dude, you know where I experienced beyond poverty was in Cordoba, going to Argentina.
Okay.
We landed in, I believe it was Cordoba at that time. Cordoba, Spain, right? Anyways.
I've never been to Cordoba.
So we fly in there, and, we're going down doing a big dove hunt and all that. I got a bunch of wounded vets I'm bringing down, and we stay in this hotel, and we literally, if you walked out of the lobby of the hotel, there's 2 lanes with a median and then a railroad track. If you walked into the median and crossed the railroad track, which would technically across the street, it was like a shanty town.
This is in Spain or Argentina?
Wherever Cordoba is. Cordoba, Spain?
Either way. I've been to
Spain.
Spain.
Then from Spain, we flew into Argentina. So I think it was Spain. Yeah.
I've been to Spain, but I haven't been to Argentina. Okay.
Man, and I just
But immediately it's just boom.
But I'm in a 5-star hotel.
Yep.
Street, railroad track, third world under poverty. I'm talking shacks, shanties, tin wooden pallets put up. And I just sat there and looked at it. I'm like, God, man, like, look at you looking at third world poverty, turn around 5-star hotel, turn around poverty. It kind of humbles you. We're sitting here complaining about the flights and, oh God, 15-hour travel day. And then I'm watching this little kid just sift through piles of shit. It humbles you pretty quick.
Yeah. I think America, we're so blessed. If you've traveled the world, and I was looking up stats the other day, and only 10% or 14% of Americans have been to 3 or more countries outside of America. And it's historically Canada, Mexico, and a Caribbean country. 100%. And then if you've been to 30 plus countries and you're an American, you're in the 1%. So it's like people have not been outside. And so if you've never seen Shantytown, across from a 5-star resort, You know what I mean? You don't know. Like a lot of our stresses is we just keep piling on liabilities, and we don't know their liabilities. Like we all need an iPhone, we need max data, we need Netflix, we need right?
Yep.
And then these people, they don't even have anything.
Nothing. I was in Afghan. We're in the capital, man. We're in Kabul. I'm operating out of there. There was a strip. Any of the bubbas, the contracting bubbas that know, you would leave the embassy. It was Masood Circle, and you'd go down, and we had the ISAF base, the military bases down there. We were on the civilian side, but there was this like strip of just homes, shanties, all kinds of shit. Well, they'd walk all of their feces out across the street, and they dump them. So there's this strip along this wall. I'm talking this thick of sludge, just pure sludge. Every morning I'd roll out with my team, dude. There'd be these little girls and boys in there just sifting through, trying to find anything to burn. There'd be a goat standing in it, chewing on a trash bag hanging out of his mouth, and it's a foot and a half thick of just sludge, feces, and you just watch people walk out and they just dump it, and then they go through and they try to sift through and see if there's anything out of it. And I have videos of it. I showed the wife, and I've told the wife that's one of my big things when like just being grateful and gratitude and joy is when we're bitching about shit. I'm like, man, and I don't want to be that dad. You know where I've been, but it's hard because you've seen it and you travel, and then when we're complaining over an iPad not being updated, I'm like, like the fuse is like, this is what we're bit. And so I've had to really check myself because they haven't experienced that. So I'm trying to compare them to knowing what I know. But to go back to your statement, like people just, we're so plush. I mean, we're crying over an AC unit going out. Like that's people's problems. And meanwhile, people have no idea what even AC unit is in this world.
Oh, yeah, it's wild.
Or what running water is, or turning a light on. That's where I'm so just knowing what you have is by living in those conditions. I mean, I've lived in these countries with these people who are in shacks, and you're just praying for a shower this month.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's perspective. And then, a lot of people don't have the blessing. So I feel God blessed me with one, being able to have two hardworking parents that work like minimum wage, to be in a trailer growing up, to be able to have tons of surgeries and broken bones and dislocations. And then through the grace of God, be able to fight, get in trouble, arrest, all these problems that I have a clean record and I have no issues. Then all of a sudden, boom, mentorship and the right people around me and teach me about wealth and investing and world travel. And all of a sudden it compounds into this like, oh my gosh, like God's letting me win things, world titles, all this stuff. And then I can see a shanty town. Yeah. Right? And then you talk to those people. And that actually changed my perspective. I was in Nicaragua. I was on a surf trip because I think, we tried getting to Brazil and we ended up in Nicaragua because turns out you have to have a visa to get into Brazil.
Figure that out on the way?
Well, we figured out at the airport. Well, we went to Peru, so we went to Peru to hike Machu Picchu. We were like, let's just go. So we buy a ticket to Peru to hike Machu Picchu. Beautiful. Awesome. Me and my buddy Zach to Spain. We have way too much fun in Cusco. Cusco gets crazy. We barely make the flight. We're there at this airport trying to fly into Brazil because it was go history, hang out in Cusco, and then go to Brazil. And we had our rooms picked out. We had our Airbnb set up. Yeah. And I'm at this table and they're like, Visa. So I'm like throwing down credit cards. I'm like, I got visas all day, baby. And like I'm like, what's the deal here? Let us on the plane. I put down 3 Visa. I go, Zach, you got a different Visa? Mine aren't working. So they're like, no Visa. I'm like, Zach's like, oh. So I keep handing these credit cards. And finally the manager walks up. He's like, no. You need a Visa. A Visa. I go, what do you mean? He's like, to get in the country, dude. And I'm like, oh, we don't got that. He's like, yeah, you cannot get on this flight. And so I'm like, all right. So I step over and I'm like, where's the beach? Costa Rica. So I buy a ticket to Costa Rica. Like, I mean, within 5 minutes. I go buy it. And Zach goes, well, I'll buy mine from the counter. They go, you can't get in the Costa Rica without a yellow fever shot. So then I'm trying to cancel that ticket. Oh, and then we're like, where can we go that has a beach? And they're like, Nicaragua. I'm like, okay. So we just buy a ticket to Nicaragua. So I have a ticket to Brazil, a ticket to Costa Rica. Both I didn't get my money back. So now we're going to Nica.
What is that like?
Which
Nicaragua? What's I've never been there. What's that like?
Nicaragua?
Yeah.
Well, we got robbed within 30 minutes. 30 minutes we got robbed by the cops. So we land at 11 o'clock, and we're like, we get pulled over by the cops, and they're like, the guy's like, let me see your license. He's not giving me the license back. It's broken English. I'm like, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I know what's going on. We're getting shucking down. And he's like, I guess we can be arrested. We can, broken English. He's like, yeah, you did something wrong, and all the cars are driving by us doing something wrong, right?
For sure.
So finally, I think I understand he wants $50. So I'm like, $50. He's like, oh, problem solved.
Good.
Hand us, we drive off. The next day, I find out he meant $5. So he just wanted $5. So this guy made out like
I love Americans.
Yeah.
You're like gringos every time.
Yeah, we get robbed. We go to a random town. We're at this hostel thing, and some girls were like afraid to go out because some people were getting mugged.
Rightfully so.
And then somebody else like, yeah, don't go out. You'll get robbed here. So then we leave that town, and we ended up in a place called San Juan del Sur, which is a nice place now, but the town at the time it wasn't that great. Should have brought property. And we're surfing and we're hanging out, and we are literally trying to find this surf break with a guy that doesn't speak English, and he's driving us, and I'm going down this shitty road, and I've been robbed. I'm out several thousand because I had all these flights that didn't come through, and I'm down to like whatever because I used to travel off grid. So forever, probably 20 countries I traveled without a phone. No phone, just my travel journal.
Yeah.
Off grid. Experience, bro, or whatever I had in my mind.
Yep.
So the problem is off grid, if you don't bring enough credit cards, you have no money. So I'm driving down this road feeling bad for myself, and I look to the left, and there's these little kids in front of this shanty. And the blanket, this tore up blanket's the door. And these two little kids in no clothes are playing with sticks in the mud.
Yep.
Smiling ear to ear.
Happy as
wrestling, time of their lives. And moments ago, I was complaining about no air conditioning in the car to my buddy Zach. And I'm looking at these kids. So we get to the beach, and I start drawing in my travel journal, right? And I'm drawing, and I'm like, those kids are happier than I am in this moment. Because I have all the ability to travel the world and buy all these flights. I wasted all the money because I'm an idiot. And so I go, okay, when I go home, I'm going to just get rid of all my stuff. So I came home, got rid of all my TVs, PlayStations. I gave everything away. All my shoes. I kept a pair of dress shoes, running shoes, and flip-flops, and got rid of all my clothes and everything. I was like, I'll just do this. I'll just be minimalist for a little bit.
How'd that go?
Well, my roommate came back, who has the same shoe size, and goes, hey, where's my shoes? And I go, what? Jason Curl, my buddy. I go, we're going a new direction. He goes, we? He goes, you threw all my shit away. He's like, where's the TVs? I'm like, we don't need them anymore. He's like, what are you talking about? We? He's like, where's the PlayStation? I'm like, we're not into that. He's like, what are we not into?
We need to have this conversation
like, no,
now.
we need to talk. I'm like, no, this is a great idea. I almost had him talked into chopsticks. I'm like, no. He's like, all right. He's like,
I love chopsticks, actually.
I was like, no furniture, chopsticks. He's like, all right, you need to calm down.
We would have been friends for sure.
And so then I was, at that point, I was doing sales and I was hiring people, but in the industry was make money, buy a BMW, all this stuff. And I'm like, no, invest your money, build assets, be minimalist. And the pitch worked. Like people were like, oh, that's cool. But it changed my perspective because oh my gosh, the compounding of not buying liabilities and blowing your money.
For sure.
And instead I invested aggressively. And that was my niche. I was just like, no, I'm wearing flip-flops while I golf. I don't care. I travel the world. I do sales and make money. And it worked. And I was like, oh, looking back, I'm like, okay, cool. Now, when I went to get my TV and PlayStations and Xbox back, I know for some reason no one could find them. So, so I literally gave it away permanently, I guess. No one owned up to any of my shit. Like, nobody.
It's been 2 years, bro. Like,
couldn't find anything. And I had to buy my buddy some new shoes. But yeah, so that was, I mean, just because I randomly couldn't get on a flight to Brazil, ended up in Nicaragua, got robbed, so I didn't have enough money to buy a nice Uber or anything, so I had to be a cheap, random dude guy in a crappy car. So because of that situation, it changed my life and perspective because I didn't have the excess money to make any mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's just that.
How much does that help?
I mean, I think it's everything.
Right?
I think it's everything.
It's to be able to, when you commit to it like that, there's no, okay, hey, if this doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's where I think a lot of people also make huge mistakes in growing themselves or growing a business or starting something is they always have that reserve tank. And they always pull from it. So they never fully getting rid of everything. We're going minimalist. I'm selling it all. They never fully jump. They always have a little toe in the pool in the back because if that's their little safe space. So as soon as it gets hard, what do? They pull right back to it.
And they go back to the 9 to 5 or they go back to the thing and they go back to what they know.
And that's what separates an entrepreneur from a worker bee, I feel. And that's where you either have that bug and that itch that you feel. It's like, I'm going to make this work no matter what. That's what people, what's plan B? There's a fucking plan B. You have a plan B? I don't have a plan B. And that's how, but if you have a plan B, it's always in the back of your head. Like, okay, well, we're hard right now. Let's start transitioning. If you're just like, if you're all in, man, this podcast is such a perfect example. When I started with her, hey, we're going to grow this. We're going to fail it together, but we're going to do this. And it's just, hey, there's no other plan. When we shut all the other stuff down and walked away from everything, this is it because you always have your foot in it. And I mean, dude, you kind of talked about it a little bit earlier when people like letting people talk shit on if you're making changes. You know, people laughed at me when I was
oh, I bet.
Oh, dude, you're going to join the rest of them. Oh, the fad of running a podcast. Oh yeah, bro. Good luck. You're going to be the next Joe. Well, I got 1 million followers across our platforms, getting 30 million impressions a month.
Let's go.
And guess who's asking to come on the show now?
Well, you know, the discernment and the ability, people need to slow down and look at who's giving you advice. And I learned this through sports. I'm not good at jiu-jitsu. Let's say this. I don't win at jiu-jitsu because I'm not the best at jiu-jitsu because I know what I'm doing. I have world-class coaches and professors. I've only been good because I have world-class people. It's so easy for you to have taken the wrong advice from a person that doesn't have 1 million followers and making money and doing that stuff because they don't do podcasts. What they do is they're 9 to 5.
Yep.
So that guy talking shit on you doesn't have the authority to give you good advice there. But the problem is, what if it's your parents, right?
Well, me personally, I do the opposite of everything they tell me. So that's just the boomer generation.
Kids, there you go. There's some advice from Bam.
I mean, well, but also that generation, they thought going to work for somebody for 20, 30 years and then retiring, have 10 to 15 years left in your health if it doesn't quit to live your life. That if you explained it to me and you laid all the options, hey, you can go this crazy entrepreneur route. No paycheck is guaranteed. You don't know how you're going to feed your family at times. You're going to lose everything, have to start over, but you live a free life. Or guaranteed salary. Yep. You get up every single day, live the rat race, Groundhog's Day, building and doing everything else for everybody else, but it's guaranteed. Nope, I'm out.
Yeah.
Nope. Absolutely. I've tried the corporate life and I thought I had my dream job working for a veteran-owned company. These dudes are all operators. I get to run my own departments. I'm growing the whole back of the whole company. Like, just fix everything you can in it. I'm like, this is the greatest job ever. I've never wanted to kill myself faster in my life working for just going in and checking in and
just.
I was like, I immediately knew it wasn't for me.
But it's knowing it's not, and then also being able to be successful on not going back to the machine. Right? It's tough. It's really tough.
That's if I quit. That's the only way. And my wife and I, we made a vow. We would probably be homeless on the street before we ever went back. I'll never not be an entrepreneur.
Dude, it's so funny.
It's not an option.
I call it the Shane curve. Okay, so here's the
curve.
Yep, okay. I call it my Shane curve. This is how I win at stuff, and I'm successful. Right?
Okay, let me hear it.
It's a 3-step process. It's very intense. All right, clock in. Okay.
All right.
Number 1, don't suck.
Pretty easy. Sometimes.
Who are you talking to?
Actually, let us rephrase that. Yeah. Challenging.
Dude, no, most people, it's done right there because most people suck. Like, oh, they're so dramatic. Like, oh, your life. Like, oh, nobody cares. Like, just be happy. Just be cool. Okay, don't suck.
Yep.
Okay, number 2, play it cool. So when things are crazy, just play it cool and shut up and just go to work. And if you do that, winners like you
Absolutely.
because you don't suck.
Yeah.
And
Cool under pressure.
you're going to work, right? And third, just don't stop. That's it. Because if you just never stop, there's like 21 days, and there's a 6 month, and there's a year. You can look at math of attrition of people chasing their dreams.
Oh, yeah.
And most people don't realize that stress and that anxiety you experience is your brain learning. People, when you go to the gym, if you don't sweat and if you're not sore, did you get better?
Nope.
Okay. So why, when we're learning to be an entrepreneur and our brain hurts, why don't people realize their brain muscles growing?
Because we've never been told or taught it like that.
Yeah. They identify stress in that as bad. And so their body's trying to protect them.
Instead of growth.
But it's growth. And so what happens is when it hurts a little bit, people suck. They bitch, they complain. Well, the sucky people fall off. Okay. Then some people don't play it cool. Their anxiety, they might be talented, but man, they're a thorn in your side.
Where they get to the point where they put pressure on them.
Yep. And the whole time, what happens is guys like you and I, that we are not that much talented than anybody else. We dyslexic, ADD, we kind of suck.
Yep.
But what happens is we're still standing. And then all of a sudden winners go, well, I guess Shane and Bam, let's help them. And by proxy, we get the goods.
Yep.
Winners who we're treating good, we're trying to give them energy and help them make money, they invest in us.
Yep.
And so all these other people fall off, and that's where my curve. I'm not getting better. I think everybody else is sucking more.
For sure. That's a great way to put it. I mean, you've been in the game long enough. How many men have you sat down from that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars and you left a meeting and went, that might be one of the dumbest human beings I've ever met in my life?
Yeah, it's nothing
But
magical.
the secret, he never quit.
Yeah.
Just kept going, and eventually the ball starts rolling, and now this dude's worth umpteen millions, and I'm sitting there going, oh my God, like how did we... And then you start getting to know him, and you're like, oh, he just grinded and never quit.
Yeah.
And I'm mentor some guys on some podcasts right now. I'm no expert, like we're barely 2 years into this, but our growth, and I think I have a little bit of things figured out.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, nothing's happening, man. Like this is no downloads. And I've talked about it here. I talk about it on my social. When we first launched this, I could show you a picture of our February to February, and there's not a blip on the radar. I think our first 10 episodes we got one that was like 400 downloads. We're like, oh my God, 400 people listen to this. Nothing for a whole year of nothing. And these guys are 10 episodes in, dude, no one's even listening. And I'm like, and I sent him this. I go, bro, if I'm going off of your mindset and how you're thinking right now, I would have quit. I go,
Yeah.
I'm almost 100,000 downloads a month. Look at that, I had 400. There's a month that I had 50 downloads. And I'm like, you can't quit, bro. You just keep going. And every time you post, you pick up a couple of crumbs with your followers, supporters, whatever it may be. Cool, dude, you got a couple of crumbs. Let's put them together. Put another post out or another episode out. Okay, cool. You got 2 or 3 this time. Now you got 5 or 10. Now you got 15 or 20. Now you got 100.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're like, holy shit, we're going 5. And then guess what? After that year and some change, bloop, little blip on the radar. We broke 1,000 downloads. And I'm like, holy shit, this is our new threshold. We got 1,000 downloads?
Yeah.
Then it was 2, then it's 3. But that's where and it's so frustrating. Dude, I just couldn't do it anymore after a year. I'm like, a year? Bro, I tell everybody, you're going to get into any new business, adventure, anything you're going to do, a minimum 2 years of grinding your ass off if you're lucky before that little ball starts rolling off the top of the mountain. 2 years.
If.
And if it does realistically 3 to 5 in my experience.
Most things.
And I'm like, in 2 years, reevaluate where you're at. If you had no growth, you 0, still keep grinding. But dude, 2 years, don't even look at numbers. Don't even try to compare anything until you have 2 years into it at a minimum. And then that's where a lot of people dude, to be in the top 10% podcast in the world, you just have to record past 20 episodes.
Yeah.
To be in the top 10% or top 5%, 20 episodes?
Well, but that goes to your optimism. So you're not sucking. So you're not being abusive to yourself. And
There's
you're
been
being
some times.
We all are, but at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm doing it. I already made a decision.
Yeah.
And that's that vision. You have that vision. So I think goals will push you, but a vision will pull you. I think some people have goals. They're like, well, I want to make this much money or this many views and stuff. But I think true leaders don't. Goals push you, and no one wants to be pushed all the time.
No.
But when you have a vision, it pulls you. Like there's this feeling.
It's a drive.
Right? And you're like, I'm willing. All right, I'm willing to just be uncomfortable a little. I'll just, okay, why not? Why not? Because I know the other option. I know the real world. I know the option. I see, like a lot of my family and stuff. I know the real world. And that's why you're living that vision. And if you think about it, don't suck. Go to work. Keep it simple. Show up. Play it cool when things go. And then just don't stop.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So that served me a lot.
It sounds so simple. But
yeah, the human mind, the process is
complicate
easy.
it.
The human mind is complicated.
Absolutely.
And I love, so I have this goated program I developed where it helps mentor people that come into my program.
Okay.
Right? And so I basically took all these things from traveling the world and meeting world-class athletes and entrepreneurs and guys like you, people that are worth millions of dollars, or a brief conversation I had with D. Wade, or the brief conversation I had with Sean Strickland, or all these different athletes. And I take these little nuggets and I put it in my book, my little travel journal, right?
Yeah.
And it's so interesting that the two common things I found doing this goated project were, one of them, I have a mentorship program, and the other half is I work out with the top athletes in the world and we do art. The two common things I've found consistently with winners: vulnerability and faith.
That gives me goosebumps thinking about it. That. Vulnerability and faith have completely changed my life in the last 2 years. Absolutely brought me to my knees. Vulnerability being one of the biggest ones, and now faith getting caught up with it.
Yeah.
And in my community, I have a small community for men. It's one of our biggest things that we cover is vulnerability. I did not change. I didn't swallow my pride. I fought the world until I started being vulnerable, and that started with my wife and kids. Being able to have girls, and you're going to be a tough dad and have daughters. Doesn't work.
Nothing works without vulnerability and faith.
Nothing. Faith is the biggest one, and it crushes me when I don't ever push it, especially religion. I push a relationship with God. That's where I'm at with it. Is full believer, but at the end of the day, I think it's a very personal thing for me, and I try to help and talk to these young men, and it's such a wall. And I'm like, God, bro, just give it to God. As soon as you can learn, Jesus, take the wheel on this one. If this is in your will, and I can push everything through you, through whatever I'm doing, please. If not, shut it down. Close this door right now. I don't need it. If it's not in your will, I don't need it. Shut it down. Dude, praying dangerous prayers, I get goosebumps thinking about it, man. That's the scariest shit. My wife and I, we've prayed, God, if this is in your will to keep this going, please. And our charity, there was a time we were struggling, bro. I drained my bank accounts to keep it going, to help vets, to keep on their feet, because sponsors weren't, these companies that raised money for us, and our image never paid. And so then I promised all these guys stuff I'm paying out of pocket. We're struggling, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, God, I can't afford this. I can't fund this. I'm not rich. Yeah. And had a dangerous prayer. Dude, a week later, one of the largest companies I've ever worked with sends us a random check and opened up a door and ended up becoming one of our biggest sponsors for years.
That's awesome.
Changed thousands of veterans' life but just giving it. Give it. Don't fight it. No matter how hard you fight it, dude, it's like that quicksand. The more you fight, it's just going to suck and suck and suck. But at the same time, when guys start giving it to God, he's not going to give you what you want. It's what you need, at least for me. And
it doesn't look how you think it should look.
It could be losing everything. It could be doors slammed in your face. But guess what? Those are different paths that he's lining you up on. And all of a sudden, you're going to walk through a door and be like, oh, whoa, how did we end up here?
Yeah.
A lot of people forget.
Yeah.
Quit this, got fired here, lost this opportunity, this door shut in my face. So it's an, oh, woe was me, woe was me, woe was me. Instead of like, okay, God, that's not in your will. And I'm about to burn the next several years trying to grow something that I can't just promote who you are and how you've changed my life. That's why I love this platform so much, because God gets brought up so much. This isn't a faith-based podcast by any means. The woman that sat in the chair before you, bro, one of the wildest stories I've ever recorded lately. And there's faith always gets brought up in every single conversation almost. And it's make that make sense of how we've been so blessed in this platform and our supporters and people that tune in every week. And we talk about it, somehow God gets brought up in almost every conversation.
And I would have thought, as you're saying that, I would have thought when I started this journey, like I said, some of the top athletes in the world, this guy named Nicole Hardman was a 3-time Super Bowl champ, and Chael Sonnen's is a UFC legend, and Misha Tate's a UFC champ. Like these different people and these different interactions. And I mean, I'm talking world UFC Olympians working out with, Olympia, like it's crazy. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I know it's gonna be process, it's gonna be workouts,
Dedication.
yeah, and then it's a different conversation because my friend Ulysses, is doing the art. So we'll do 80% of the art. Okay, we'll research these athletes. Okay, and then I'll go and I'll do the workout. So my friend Luther is one of the top trainers in the world. He's trained like Tyreek Hill and I think LeBron's kids and Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, all the biggest names. He's either done trainings with them or trained them full time. I think Tyreek Hill was like on his couch when he first started. And so I'll do his workouts while he's training a pro athlete. And then while this world-class trainer's taking us into the depth of this workout, Ugonzo, my buddy Ulysses, is finishing this live art. So he's using the energy of the athlete. We're mic'd up. I'm asking them questions, and they're getting vulnerable. Well, why are they getting vulnerable? Well, the 3 most vulnerable things, I believe, is 1, when you're high and drunk. Okay, you open up, you do stupid stuff, whatever. And I don't want to be high and drunk all the time, right?
Drunk words, sober thoughts.
Yeah, right. The second is a deep interactive experience, a workout, stress, sickness, right? Like that's why military trauma bonding, right? With micro trauma bonding, a bad workout will trauma bond you, right?
For sure.
Then the third is memories. So if I show you a picture of your daughters or something when they're kids, you're like, oh, it hits you. So the idea was when I was up in the woods, up towards Crouch, God's like, hey man, like you need to do art. Because originally I was an art major. So you need to do art and figure out how to get out the vulnerabilities, your vulnerabilities, and the vulnerabilities of some of the greatest in the world. And that's the messaging. He's like, because everybody, when an Olympian says do this, I think that can help somebody out.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to just get clickbait moments with them. I want authenticity. So I came up with the idea of work out with them and do art, and I had no artists until I'm doing jiu-jitsu with a guy named Ugonzo. And then that's when Joe Rogan shouted him out on his Instagram. And I go, why is Joe Rogan shouting you out? And he goes, Shane, I do art for Joe Rogan and some of the top people. So I started talking to him. I said, hey man, let's go around and let's try to help people with anxiety and depression. And what we'll do is we'll get in these moments and give these world-class athletes art.
That's pretty rad.
So instead of like paying them money and doing stuff, no, we're going to give them authentic, one-of-a-kind experience for them. And that art is their art. There's Easter eggs, there's nuggets, there's energy infused into the art because we finish the art live, and then I ask them questions. So while we're looking at the art, some of these guys cry. The top badasses in the world are emotionally impacted because we have their kids' birthdays or we have death in there or something's infused. So when after this workout, our energy is at a certain spot, I've earned their respect, then we show them art focused on them.
Damn.
So it's kind of cool.
That is really cool.
And then
what made you think of what brought all that? I mean, you've done so many things. Why that?
I don't know. God was talking to me. I went up in the forest.
Yeah.
I literally was up in the forest, and he was like, hey, man, I gave you another world title in jiu-jitsu. You have health, you have wealth, and all you're going to do is just do cool stuff. And I responded, well, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Right?
Sounds good.
Like, it's a pretty good idea. Why not?
Thanks, homie. I appreciate it so far.
Energetically, he's like, no, I think I need, like, I've given you everything. I've given you tons of surgeries. I started you poor. I've taken things away. I've given you all these athletic achievements, so now people respect you in these areas. I've given you money. He's like, what more can I give you? He's like, it's time for you to figure out how to communicate with people in a different way.
That's awesome.
So I assembled Ugonzo as an artist. My buddy Robbie's dope. I'll show you some of his videos he makes.
Yeah.
I got another team called Creative Fruit. They make the YouTube videos. And the whole idea everybody's on board of eventually what we want to do is get to the emotional level of these athletes and get their message about them out there. They get final cut, everything. This is all about, like, it's self-funded. My buddy Jared, my business partner, funds it. We go, we do art, we work out. At the end of the day, we're hoping to grab the nuggets from the greatest athletes in the world so they will authentically and vulnerably send out their message so the next Bam and the next Shane can go, okay, I should take a chance on myself. Mm-hmm. Don't get caught up in the machine.
No.
I should take a chance on myself. And the only way I thought about doing it is through art and some of the most intense workouts I could find.
That's pretty rad.
It's been pretty fun.
Who's been your favorite so far? Who's stood out to you the most?
You know what's interesting? As we're on Faith, this guy named Kyle Dake is a 2-time Olympic wrestler. He's a 4 or 5-time world champ and a 4-time NCAA champ. And why he stands out is I make his episode, which is funny. So I found a way we go to Olympic Training Center.
Yeah.
ESPN, NBC, everybody's there. And I get a press pass. I don't know how they did that with me. And we go, we do the art, and I give him the art. In the middle of the art is a still frame of him and his dad wrestling. Well, I took a screenshot of it, and we made it the center of the picture. Well, it was the last time he wrestled his dad before his dad died.
Was that photo?
Yes.
Oh.
And this was right before he leaves the Olympics. The intriguing part about like a sport called, wrestling is it's not like the most popular thing unless it's WWE, which I just did a WWE workout 2 weeks ago with a guy named Bobby Lashley. He's a former WWE champ. He's the ECW champ, and he's badass. Anyways, but Kyle Dake, he's an Olympian, 2-time, like I said, 4-time world champ, 4-time NCAA champ. He's legit. And so we shoot his episode, and everything goes wrong. Everything goes wrong. I have way too much content and stuff. Okay. The videographer, we had to get rid of one of them. My buddy Robbie, Voodoo Child's his Instagram. He does awesome job picking up he's like, dude, we need help. And then UPS loses his artwork. So we finish this awesome art piece of his dad. The whole works. It's emotional. He's about to leave the Olympics. UPS just lost his art. So his art never makes it. We kind of recreate something. And then on top of that, when I go to drop the video, because I didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't know I was a producer. I didn't know I was an editor. I didn't know I was an interviewer. All I thought was get an artist and let's just go to work. Mm-hmm. And so none of my shit's good. I'm like, it's good meat, but I don't know what I'm doing because I'm just doing stuff. And I don't even know I'm a producer till I'm in front of some cameras one time. They're like, who are you? And someone goes, he's the producer. I go,
you're like, that's a new title.
Yeah, and I think I was with a Super Bowl champ at the time. I'm like, I had no idea. Okay, this is what I am. Whatever. So anyway, I give him the episode. I give Kyle Dake his episode. And then, like I said, he literally, I almost want to read the text. I should read the text. Because it was so cool. And it's nothing more than God really talking to me going, all right, buddy. Like, he's like, this is what he's saying. I said, hey, man, looking at dropping your episode on YouTube because I always give the athletes and everybody final cut. Yep. I'll change anything, whatever they want, right? I really like the vibe of it. If you have changes or objections, let me know. He goes, watching now, it's funny how in such a short time, I've been led to let some of this stuff go. Like the colors, the isolation, the compressive forces, and the chakras. Just moved away from that stuff. It is still a thing, but energy is a lot less of a deal in my life because I've become a Christian and given myself to Christ. And he has shown me a lot of things that I did which are dead ends.
How'd you take that text?
Awesome. Here's 2-time Olympian, 4-time world champ, 4-time NCAA champ, Kyle Dake. Actively right now, he's the RAF champ. He is just a winner.
Yeah.
And the whole episode I made was about color isolation and chakras and vibes. And he's telling me God's in control, actually. Which is funny because now the episode is like,
built
right?
off the ball.
Like, sorry, right? But he's like, cool, man. Yeah, launch the episode. But I think that's the whole point of GOATed. The whole point of GOATed, ironically, Josiah helped me name GOATed.
Yep.
And the whole idea of GOATed is to get out the truth, the vulnerabilities, and connect with these guys so they can impact people, right?
Absolutely.
And nothing's more impactful than one of the greatest athletes on the planet saying, faith in God and his Christian faith is actually what he feels is the keystone to him winning.
I fought that for so long.
And it's easy for that guy to be like, no, I put the work in, right?
For sure.
He could easily say it.
At that level, 100%.
Yeah.
Most people probably would.
He's one of our best in the world actively right now. Right?
Just giving it all to God.
So, and I think what's really cool, there's an Easter egg in Goated. So whether I'm working out with all these world champs, there's an Easter egg that Josiah and I didn't even know we put it in. Because Goated, the Goated logo, GOATD, if you really look, it's at God. So the greatest athletes in the world, but most of them, it's at God. So there's this little Easter egg in there that I never even really put together. And I'm like, well, how interesting that the last couple years, I'm like, I've been around multimillionaires, and I mean, you name it. And at the end of the day, it was vulnerability and faith. Those are the biggest things to me that stand out. And now when I say vulnerability, I'm not saying these guys are walking around like, like boo-hoo all the time. They're vulnerable to themselves.
Absolutely.
They're honest with themselves, and they're vulnerable usually to a coach or a person. There's like you say, your wife. What I find is these world-class people, they're very specific on who they're vulnerable with.
You have to be, though, because then people will take your vulnerability and they will twist it and they will use it against you. They will weaponize it. And that's why I think a lot of men stop being vulnerable, because that's what we've been trained and shown to do. And you're weak and you're just a pussy and men don't cry.
Yeah.
I've sat across from tier 1 operators. They said the greatest thing they ever learned to do is be vulnerable and cry.
Oh, it's what changed my whole direction.
Vulnerability didn't come from me until I found God, until I truly gave it to him. That's what brought me to my knees with vulnerability. Praying was, that changed my life. Oh, I have no problem talking to anybody about it. Prayer.
Just the act of praying, talking, reaching out.
Changed my life. Truly being in prayer. This might be TMI, but I pray butt ass naked. Get on my knees every night, freezing my ass off in my room. I don't even care. Not every night. I don't want
Everybody visualize. Everybody close your eyes and visualize.
This big, just hairy,
just take it
creature.
in. Take it in.
And dude, I'll bawl my eyes out. I will bawl my eyes out just thanking God for everything he has blessed me with. Asking for nothing. Just maybe protection over my kids and to protect their health and my wife. And, it depends on the prayer, but I changed my life, man. I started looking at everything differently. I started processing everything differently. I asked to soften my heart and, turn this heart of coal into something. And now I think that was a big reason why he gave me daughters. Prayer, giving it to him, changed my life. I can't give it to anything else. There's nothing else.
And it's so simple, but the human mind's complicated.
Every time.
Right? The process is easy. The process of praying.
How many times you've grown up. When I fell away, I was done. God doesn't exist. Things I've seen, things that go on in this world, wouldn't let it happen. There's too much evil, blah, blah, blah. It's just ignorant mind at that point. And, not processing and looking and actually knowing the word and listening to what the signs and everything that he's giving me to be able to follow. And, man, I watch guys that are in my shoes and I see them fighting it. I just want to be like, bro, just trust me.
Submit.
That's the problem. Guys like us, these alpha male dudes, and I say it, like I would have been that knight that's getting his head lobbed off because I would bend to the knee to nobody. Bend the knee and this will all be yours. Like that. That's like I don't.
Well, we learned the hard way, dude. We learned. I'm like that's it. Like I've had. My pushback on jiu-jitsu and a street fight thing, people are like, well, I do jiu-jitsu and I do wrestling and I can push back on some of these sports, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, well, jiu-jitsu's the best self-defense. It is, unless they have a friend, and the friend's going to kick you in the face. And you know what? You probably shouldn't get in a fight unless you know how to throw a couple strikes. Yes. Because if you break my arm, I can still fight you.
Yeah.
My last wrestling match in college, my ACL blew. I kept wrestling.
Yep.
Like there's certain people that a broken arm doesn't stop them.
Yep.
Right? But that level of pain is the only way I've been able to learn. And God will just be like, all right, man, going to take all this away, going to break you down. And then it's like, okay. And then the moment I buy in, the moment I'm like, okay, all right, God, what do you want to do? He gives me an abundance. I'm talking boom, abundance.
Yep.
Like, you want this? Here you go. But really fast. But there's some surgeries and there's some mental and there's some ego along the way.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people misconstrued the lessons they're learning with pain and failure. So that's the tough part. It's like that stress you're having at the time. When I look back at, when I was getting kicked out of college or being arrested, no, that's probably the best thing ever. Getting arrested was the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I'm in that little cell
you're not gonna
talking.
see it then,
No, I could see it. And I was like, I'm screwed. I remember talking to the guy and he's just like laughing. I'm like, hey, you could kind of let me out, and he's laughing. And literally I'm like arrested. He's like, dude, you're not drunk. Why are you in here? I'm like, no, I'm not drunk. I just threw a party. And the guy goes, wait, hold up. You're in here for throwing the party? He's like, so what's the deal? I go, you want to know the deal? I go, I'm not going to roll on my friend. And the guy laughs, And I remember sitting down in that cell going, I'm so stupid. This sucks. Right? I'm stressed.
My life's over.
Yeah.
Everything's done. I'm losing my scholarship.
But I'm like, I will not roll on Gilbert. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Gil, I got you. All right. And then looking back, that's the best thing ever. Because then Doc McLean looked at me and went, you are going to travel the world, make millions of dollars, and impact people for a living. Yeah. You're just going to talk. This is what you're doing. I'm like, wild.
Got to follow it and listen.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears a little bit. I wanted to talk about some world travels.
Yeah.
Countries. You had to do CPR on a guy 100 foot, 150 feet underwater?
Yeah, that was, dude, talk about a life shift, another God kind of thing, right? Okay. So I'm like working crazy hours. So the whole gig with my buddy Alan and Dave and those guys was, I'm going to work really hard for 6 months. I'm going to go 6 days a week, take 1 day off a week, half a day basically, and drive door-to-door sales teams. And I would run them sometimes from one team to 4 or 5 teams, maybe up to 100-something people, right, in different states. And it was like, you go to work and you make money. And we maybe had a drink we had drinks on Saturday, everything else, full focus. Yep. And I'm like, this is my chance to build wealth. And then I'm going to invest it aggressively. That was the gig. So then the other 5-6 months, I could just do whatever. Yeah. Alan and I would go hunt together. I would go surf, travel the world. In this particular time, I flew down to Belize to dive the Blue Hole, which is it's like one of the natural wonders of the world. And so it's me, my buddy Nico, Kaylin, and we go down there, and we're just going out there, my buddy Grant, and we're going out, and this guy named Roger just finished being at U.S. Airways. He was a pilot, and he's on his retirement. Well, this is Roger's last trip altogether. Oh, man. Roger didn't know that literally within freaking 1 hour he'd be dying, right? And so Roger's sitting there talking to Grant and talking to guys about how it's awesome. He's retired. He's saved the money. And this is his vacation with his wife and best friend. And they love scuba diving. And they've always wanted to do the Blue Hole. Okay. So we go and we dive down about 150 feet or something like that. Maybe more, 160, I can't remember. And we're coming up. I ran out of oxygen first, and so I had to get some tanks along the way. And there's a decent group of us, and so anybody who dives, 150 is pretty deep.
I was gonna say that's pretty deep.
Yeah, and there's a lot of checkpoints. Yes. And so I've dove around the world from caves to ships to, at this point, I've done a lot of diving, and so we're coming up. But I ran out of oxygen a little quicker than everybody. Okay. So I get up on the boat, and I'm on the boat, and then people are kind of popping up. But then all of a sudden, up comes Roger, and he's being pulled by one of the scuba instructor dudes. And they're pulling over, and he's like coughing, and stuff's coming out. Well, I go over, and I help pull. He's such a big guy. He's probably 260, whatever. We pull him onto the boat, and I step back, and they start working on him. But I can tell really quick that they don't know how to do CPR, because I did wildland firefighting for a little bit, whatever. Yeah. And I'm watching, and I realize, I'm like, oh, Roger ain't doing good. Yeah. Right? And Roger's coughing up phlegm, everything, and they don't know what they're doing. And I go, oh, and I tell my buddy Kaylin to get out. I go, hey, man, I'm about to start CPR. And immediately I take over and I start doing a head count like firefighting. Like, okay, this is a situation. And I grab my buddy Nico. So Nico's a 3-time All-American wrestler. He's a badass. I go, time for you to learn CPR. So I go over. I start doing CPR on Rod, get everybody back, clear. We start going CPR. I break his sternum. We're going to town. I said, okay, here it is. Boom, I rotate those guys in. You guys are going to rotate. We need to get people on the boat. The whole works. I'm talking to the captain. The captain's like, leave everybody in the water. He's freaking out. I go, no, everybody needs to get on the boat. So then through the course of time, we're doing CPR on Roger. I find an island on the map. I'm trying to coordinate a search and rescue from Belize, or was it Guatemala, to try and get a chopper there while we're doing CPR on Roger, while I'm talking to his wife and best friend. They're like a foot away. His wife's watching Roger slowly taken away. I grabbed somebody's watch because you got about 20 minutes till you're brain dead, right?
Yep.
And we're going, and I'm trying to go through different languages and everything, and we're going. And we finally get to this island, and, I mean, Roger's dead.
Gone.
Roger's dead. So the pilots get there, the chopper gets there, and they're like, all right, man, well, let's talk to the wife. And I'm like, your husband's dead, right? So we're on this piece of dirt. It's not even an island. You can see the ocean on all sides. It's a piece of dirt, right? And we take Roger and we put him over behind like a palm tree. And as we're sitting there, Roger starts bloating in the sun. And so his body is bloating.
In front of his wife?
Yeah, his wife and best friend sitting there. And the body's bloating. And we're like, all right. And there's nowhere to go on this island. And we're all sitting there. And that boat guy goes, well, does anybody want to scuba dive? And everybody goes nuts. They start yelling at this guy. It's like mutiny. Oh, yeah. No. But I look at my buddy Nico.
Okay, this looks like a pretty good
And I shoulder shrug, and he shrugs. And Roger's buddy's next to me, and I've been communicating with the whole time. I mean, Roger's dead. And I go, hey man, what do you think? And he goes,
how long are we gonna be here?
Yeah, no, literally. He goes, Roger's cool. He wouldn't care. I'm like, sure, he don't care. He's right over there, right? I mean, totally. Like this guy's like, bro, dive it. And like, I look at Nico and Kaylin, I go, and we have one other buddy there that's like totally not into it. He's like pale. He's
traumatized.
Like, yeah, he's like, he just died. So we're like raise our hands. So we walk to the boat, and there's only us, and the other 20 people are freaking out. Some guy gets on the boat. What are you guys doing? You're disrespectful. This and this.
He's dead.
Oh, yeah. And so he's yelling at us about disrespecting the dead, which Roger is in the background bloating. And so he's yelling, and Nico, I remember, he just kind of walked over and put his hand, and like I said, 3-time All-American, undefeated MMA. He's a dude. He just puts his hand on the guy's chest. He's like, it's time for you to get off the boat. And they got off the boat, and nobody wanted to go scuba diving. Oddly enough, like no one wants to get a good dive in. And I think there's one other person. Like, hey, this is beautiful water. So me, Kaylin, Nico, and some other person, we go, and I tell you what, boom, I hit that water. And that oxygen and that dive was the best dive I've ever had in my life. I was like, whoa, I'm so grateful to be alive. Like, I felt a person die under my hands.
For sure.
He was alive when he came up. He's dead now. And you feel a person's spirit leave if you're ever in that situation. And I'm breathing this, and I'm floating, and these sharks come by. And I remember I reached up, and I hit this shark in the fin. And my other buddy, Nico, accidentally hit a shark. And we're swimming through these canyons in Belize. And it was gorgeous. And the whole time I'm going, okay, I get it. I'm not just going to live my life to work and die. That's all Roger did. I'm sure he lived a cool life. I didn't know him at depth. And I got out of there. I'm like, boys, we are traveling the world, and we are doing stuff, and we're seeking. We are going to live. And after that point, I went on an aggressive run. I stopped counting at 70 countries, and we would go and we would travel and just experience life, because Roger, I saw what that looked like at 55 dying.
You have this incredible book that you have drawn incredible art in from all over the world. I'm going to go through and I want to find a page, and I want to hear about the story. Stonehenge. Let's start there. Are you cool with me showing these?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's so funny. I never even showed this art until about a couple of years ago or so, when I started working on my vulnerability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you travel and you do. Let me show a different picture, but I want to hear about the Stonehenge first. Actually, give me 1 second.
Yeah, you can go through sharks and swimming. Yeah, the cool part is I do the stuff live. I'll start it live, but I'm under no obligation to finish it. So Stonehenge, maybe I'll start sketching when I'm in London. Or the Great Wall of China, I'll start drawing when I'm on the Great Wall of China.
Okay, let's talk Great Wall of China. Let me find...
China was cool, man. China was wild.
Here's your Great Wall of China. I want to hear about China. Let's talk China real quick.
So China's cool because it went from history to a guy's arm getting hacked off to the hospital, 0 to 60.
Wait, you saw a dude's arm get hacked off?
Yeah.
You saw a dude's arm get chopped off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
Wild
so
chaos. Let's
so
go.
out of the gates we go, and originally went to China to go hike this trail. I think the Hushin Trail. It's supposed to be one of the most dangerous hiking trails in the world. Where if you look it up, Hushin, I think. And anyways, you put your feet in the side. It's 8,000 feet straight down, and there's chains you grab onto, and it's this old hiking trail that goes to a Buddhist monk temple.
Okay.
And it's pretty intense. So originally, we're like, let's do that. So we go hike the trail and everything. And that night, we're having some drinks in an Airbnb. No, it's a hostel, but it's in big buildings. It's in Xi'an. And I'm with my buddy Kalen, and we hear, oh, yeah. Not to be, I'm not trying to. Delete that. You're gonna cut that. Anyway,
Wild chaos. We're actually live.
I heard not English. Is that the best way to say it?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just say worse has been.
Right. So I hear not English.
I like it.
And I'm like, we're just playing some cards and I'm having a drink with a buddy. And I go, that's a fight. And my friend Kayla goes, dude, you don't speak Chinese. I go, I speak fight. And so we go over there.
I speak men
and
fighting.
this dude's getting his ass kicked on the ground by 4 or 5 guys that are in a black shirt, and they're either cops, security guards, or a gang. There's the only 3 ways, right? And they're kind of, but I remember they didn't beat the guy up enough. The guy was lippy. Like I remember,
okay.
and we're like 2 stories up, only 2 stories up. And we're looking over this balcony, and then they go inside, and okay, nothing of it. But we're sitting there having a drink, just drinking a beer, hanging out. It's dark. It's at night. It's whatever, midnight. I don't know what it is. And then all of a sudden we look, and then here comes that guy, and he's holding a glass bottle, and he brought a buddy with him. And those security guards or whatever they were went into our building, and they left one guy out front, like a guard. He's posted up. And there's a chair, another chair. And so these guys are walking. I'm like, looking at Kayla, and I'm like, oh, dude, look, there's going to be a nice little fight going on
Get
here,
over
right?
here. This is about to happen again.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we're
sure.
walking, and the guy has glass bottle. The other guy grabs a wooden chair and swings it on the security guard. The security guard grabs the chair, and the other dude that is hitting him with his glass bottle. And the whole time I'm thinking, this guy is weak. Like, break the glass bottle, loser.
Stab
Come on,
somebody
right?
with it,
Yeah,
yeah.
do something. But he never breaks the glass bottle, and all of a sudden this, and they separate, and all of a sudden they start not even running, but aggressively leaving. And I look, and I'm like, oh, that's not a glass bottle. That's a meat cleaver. A huge meat cleaver. And he's walking, and the guy with the meat cleaver runs away. The guy who brought the chair to the meat cleaver party,
Yep.
for some reason, runs into the parking lot. And then the security guy tries to run after him, and then his other buddy comes out, and he goes, in non-English, goes, where'd he go? And he points, and his whole arm falls off except for it's connected by skin, because he went to point, and the artery severed, so it's shooting blood. You know, like in the movies?
Oh, yeah.
It's shooting. So he's shooting blood, but his finger's pointing down. And his buddy's looking, and his buddy goes, whoa, and puts his arm together. You know, just,
Oh, yeah.
he didn't know, just puts his arm together. And at that time, 4 guys come out with sticks. Not to say it this way, but you remember those old cartoons where they run like ninjas, they run with sticks?
Yeah.
They did that, okay? They did it.
You're like stereotypes.
They
exist for a
ran like
reason.
ninjas with sticks. Like, I don't know why. They ran behind. Like, I'm just telling you. So this guy's arm's getting put together. There's blood all over. Meat cleaver guy's down, gone. The guy who brought the chair to the meat cleaver party is in the parking lot. Stick guys are running at him. And this guy goes up. He like leans against a car, and he's like holding his hands up like, no. He's telling him no. Oh, they just walk up and say, boom, 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 and just start whack, whack, whack. And you saw him like trying to stand up. You know, it's like slowly getting his ass kicked against the car, like just
crumbling.
Just crumbling. And then up walks the boss, this boss guy that was just like strolling. Those guys ran. So you know he's a boss because he walked the whole way, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's when you know he's boss. And he just walks up and just casually grabs his knife and goes shank, 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 shank. Shanked him all up down the side of the body, right in the side. Liver all the way up, right?
You witnessed all of this.
Yeah, we're sitting there having a beer. And if I knew the type, it was in Chinese, so I can't repeat it. I'd get advertising. So we're watching this, and he just shanks him, and the boss man turns around, and there's like there's not a lot of people because it's late, but there's 4 people with phones. and they're recording with their phones. And he never even says a word. This guy is a legit boss. He's gangster.
This is some mafia shit over there.
I don't know what it is, but right. He points at each one of them, and all of them systematically, people slap their phones out of their hands and the sticks over their necks, and they start dragging these people in, and they drag them all the way from the parking lot. All 4 people. Boom, into the building. Boom, boom. And then one guy, as he's pointing, the other guy stomped and crushed all the phones. Boom. And all of a sudden, done. And I'm sitting there looking at my buddy Kalen.
Like, where are we staying?
And we're in that building. And that guy's out there going, ugh. And I'm looking around, and no one's coming. So all these people, we never saw them again. We never saw anybody ever come out. And we posted up for several hours. We never saw anybody come out, and that guy's out there moaning. And my buddy Kalen, I can't remember how the conversation went, but he's like, we should call the cops. And I'm like, dude, this is his first time traveling.
Yes.
And I've been around the world. I'm like,
you stay in your own lane.
And I'm like, they might be the cops. And so, but I'm like, let's check in with the desk guy. And the desk guy's like, no way, dude. Nope.
What did you guys see? I
He's
saw
like,
nothing.
I saw nothing.
There's just a streak of blood through the...
There is blood. There's blood all down there from the guy's arm. And that guy they grabbed and they threw into a truck, the meat cleaver dude, his arm, they drove him off. No, there's blood all over. And the guy, we watched him die.
Yeah.
He died. Just to be clear, he moaned until he was not moaning anymore. And then finally, several hours later, people came and got the body.
Really?
That was it.
So there's some big mafia stuff over there. Isn't there?
Yeah, next day we stepped over the blood and went to the Terracotta Warriors. Really lovely archaeological site. you should check it out. Terracotta Warriors. It's beautiful.
Great place.
Just step over the blood from the dude. Beautiful site. 8th wonder of the world. Yeah, so that was how China started. Great Wall of China, majestic, beautiful meat cleavers, a trail 8,000 feet up.
That's how your trip started?
Yeah, Terracotta Warriors, because it got wilder.
Holy crap, man! I'm looking for your ayahuasca page because
Colorful one
the intriguing part is. The first part, we were just doing history, having some nice food, laying low, and finally one night, my buddy Kalen's giving my friend Jason a hard time. Now, Jason, to understand, we met in 7th grade church camp.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, but we didn't live a lot of church camping along the way, right? So him and I, we're still friends to this day. Full circle, he's the one that bought the property up.
Okay,
We'll come full circle. So we're having a meal. And we're in a hole-in-the-wall alley where there's like cockroaches going up under like posters, like literally cockroaches. And there's chicken bones. You're spitting out chicken bones because you want to get off the beaten path for the good stuff.
Every time.
And Kalen just keeps poking the bear. He's like, well, I heard crazy stories about you guys. And I heard crazy. And Jason's like, bro, it doesn't work that way. Like, we drink too much sometimes and we make mistakes. And that's where these adventures come from. But we're like, we're not looking for it.
Yeah.
And he keeps poking the bear. And we get down. We were just having some beers. And finally, Jason looks at me. He goes, oh, yeah? Fine. And he chugs his 40, grabs Kalen's 40, chugs his, smashes on the ground. He's like, all right, we're going out.
Oh, no.
Bar hop, shots, boom. I mean, we're hitting all the places.
What country is this in?
This is still in China.
Okay.
It's 2 days later after that. And I'm like, dude, this is sketch because people get killed. We saw this, but we're on it. And Jason's on a bender and we're going and boom, we're in a Russian nightclub. And we're in this Russian nightclub and we're hanging out, smoking cigars with these mafia dudes.
Love it.
We know they're mafia dudes. Kayla and I think these 2 girls like us. We're like, where do you guys work? They're like, here. We're like, oh.
They got numbers on their
Oh, yeah. Oh, we get it. No, we're like, this is not a normal bar.
They're really friendly here.
We're drinking we are drinking and we're high. Drinking way too much. We get in the it's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., those tuk-tuks that are pulling guys.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Jason wants to fight Kalen. So he's trying to jump out of the tuk-tuk to fight Kalen, and he's punching him. And then he's yelling at the tuk-tuk guy to get close enough to punch him. And they're trying to fight. And finally, tuk-tuk guys pull over, and Jason punch doubles. Jason used to wrestle and was like an junior Olympian athlete. Double legs Kalen to the ground, and now they're street fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with my buddy Miller, Ryan Miller, my buddy from college, laughing, and they're going and they're just just beating each other up until finally Jason chokes out Kalen. And it's like 4 or 5 a.m. It's like, they're all bloody and we're hanging out. And then all of a sudden Miller goes, I want to fight you. I go, you do not want to fight me, you idiot, right? He's a basketball player.
Yeah.
And I got to say something, I turn and he slaps the shit out of me. So I blast double him and I beat the shit out of my good friend Miller. We're friends from college and we fight. And so by the end of this, we're all just bloody and ripped up for no reason. We're laughing, having a great time, walking back, and we're going down the alley. And Jason realizes he lost his phone. Well, I don't travel with the phone anyways. I never did. I was off grid.
Yep.
And Jason gets pissed, and I've never seen this. I've been to around the world with him. And he just goes, smash. And he punches the driver's side window out of a car.
Oh, no.
This little China car. And I'm like trying to take it in, and I look, and blood's shooting everywhere. And I stop and I grab his arm. And I go, no way. He didn't cut an artery. No way. And I let go of right in the middle, and a blood shoots over the top of me. And I grab it, and I grab my shirt off, and I do a tourniquet. And I'm like, oh, no. Okay, now we need to figure out how to get to a hospital. Well, the problem is we were like off grid, so no one speaks English. So one of my friends is running through trying to get a hold of a Chinese ambulance while no one speaks Mandarin. And then my other buddy Miller's so drunk, he's grabbing vodka and trying to get rid of the evidence. He watched like one of those shows, so he's pouring vodka on the windshield, on the blood on the ground. Finally, this ambulance shows up with these little Chinese guys. We can't get him on the cart. We get in the ambulance. They open up his wound. Blood shoots all over. We're laughing. We're trying to put this together. The whole time I know he's probably going to die. Because in my mind, I'm like, we slit an artery.
Yeah.
We get to the hospital. We go in there. They open up. They think nothing might be wrong. The doctor unveils it. It shoots blood on the wall. Fast forward in time. They stitch him up. Miller's passed out on an operating table. My other buddy Kalen's passed out in the hallway. Jason's passed out, blood all over. And I'm there with a Chinese doctor. And no one's around. And I'm like, he's like, dude, you guys are wild. He's like, you Americans are wild. And I'm like, thank you. Right? And I go, hey, no one's around. What's it like being a doctor in communist China? And this guy looks at me like he doesn't want, and he looks, but we've been hanging out a little bit and everyone's asleep. And I go, really? Tell me what's up. And he goes, oh, and he won't. He's like, no. He just says no. I probe him again. No. Finally, he looks and he goes, it sucks. He goes, I make the same amount as the desk girl.
Really?
Because it's communist China. I'm a doctor. I speak multiple languages. He's like, I wish I could be in America. But I'm in communist China. And so this is it, man. I can't get out of here.
Damn.
And him and I have a cool, intimate conversation, which always makes me think of healthcare and think of things. And there was this really cool conversation that made me appreciate America because he's like, yeah, I'm stuck doing this, and I would love to be a doctor in America. And there's all pros and cons and all this stuff, but like through these crazy moments, it allows me to have these cool conversations. And Jason got stitched up. He's fine. That was day 4 of a China trip. But yeah, we ended up in a Chinese hospital and the whole works. And I had an awesome conversation with a Chinese doctor who kind of discussed communism, the negatives, and all these different things. The positive was our doctor bill was like $30.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
win.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting little journey we went on.
I want to talk this page.
Oh yeah, that's a good page.
I want to talk this page. I have been approached and offered and everything of ayahuasca and DMT and everything else. I just have this pull to not jump. I want to know your experience on it.
One, if you feel that way, you shouldn't do it.
That's why I've been reserved so far and not done it.
And that's opposite with most people. Most people will be like, oh, bro, like they're really...
You're the only one that's told me not to.
Yeah, because I'm being legit. I'm being authentic.
Yeah.
Right? I think a lot of people do DMT or ayahuasca and they maybe discover some stuff, but you can also naturally get there.
By prayer?
Yeah, prayer, connection, breathing, not drinking excess amount of alcohol. There's a way, my dad doesn't have to do ayahuasca to be connected with God. My dad's ultra connected.
Mm-hmm. But I hear that it can connect you in so many different ways. But at the same time, I feel there's a demonic realm to it because you're seeing serpents and witches and these half man, half animal jaguars, Egyptian creature looking things. And that's where I'm like, okay, if I am who I am and who I'm trying to be as this baby Christian, do I need to go and take something that's going to make me see all of this in order to get closer to God? Or do I just lean into God more? Or do I take this because it's going to help face some trauma? Or do I lean on God on that?
What have people been telling you?
The majority of people say, dude, oh, man, changed my life, brought me closer to God. I found God after doing this. But I'm like, are we opening doors to different realms that I'm trying to close?
Yeah. I view it as, I call it my ranch dressing theory.
Okay.
So my ranch dressing theory is Americans, a salad and a pizza are the best example. They spend all the time ordering the toppings. You argue about the toppings. I want pepperoni. I want meat lovers. A salad, you spend all this time putting the right tomatoes and everything on it. And when you get done arguing about your toppings and making your perfect salad, what do most Americans put on it?
Ranch
dressing. So, in my opinion, it's like all of a sudden people are dumping ranch dressing on it. Well, if you're just going to dump ranch dressing on it and you're assuming that everybody's the same, then you're not going to be able to discover what's good for you. Right? So, I think it's complicated. I think it takes questions, and I think it takes respect because God put a leaf and a root that combines, that has hallucinogenic properties that releases DMT in your mind. So God put a root and a leaf on this planet, and that's what it does, right? But to say it works the right way for everybody, I think there has to be some discernment. I think people should pray on it. I think people should think. And I think people that try to get people to do it, yes, maybe they had a profound experience, but it doesn't mean their life is better.
Valid point.
Maybe follow up the questions of, okay, you found God, but how's that going?
Well, I do. And so I have some buddies that are deep into it, and they're like, oh, I do it once a quarter. I try to do it several times a year. My mind automatically goes, okay, if this is helping so much, why do you have to continue to do it?
Yeah.
If this is, and I know it's not a one and done, but I could turn to God and have a conversation with him right now.
Yeah.
Do I have to go and chase this stuff? That and it's just, and plus another part of me is, I don't know if it's a fear. I don't know what it is. I guess I haven't really processed, but I if I'm not in my state of mind, a state of reality, being drunk, being high, under the influence, that terrifies me. Being outside of my bubble at my home. If I'm going to, that's why I don't drink, not any drugs, hard ones at least. And so it's because it takes a lot to control me if I'm going to.
Well, we don't like to be controlled, right? That's half of us releasing control. That's the tough part why people struggle with God, because you're like having faith.
Yep.
You're saying God's in control.
Yep.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Faith.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Which is relieving control, right?
Yeah.
So the intriguing part about ayahuasca and stuff, so I've never smoked weed in my life. I'm not anti-weed at all.
Yeah.
And I've been around it my whole life. I've been around drugs since I was like 9. My friend's sister sold weed, mushrooms, everything, all my whole life. All my, tons of my friends do. I've done ayahuasca. I've done bufo, the toad. I've done some of that stuff situationally. Okay, this makes sense, and I'll do that. But what I found about me is I don't like to be high. I'm not interested in being drunk. I'm not interested in being high.
Yep.
What I am interested in is sometimes I will do something to understand an experience. If I have a drink of someone's because I want to hang out with them a little bit more. But this was, it kind of fell into my lap through a couple things, and it did open me up. I mean, I'm very susceptible for stuff like this. Like, I'm talking relived a past life kind of stuff.
How? Okay, are you cool sharing it?
Yeah, totally down.
Okay, what was it? How many times have you done it?
So the first time was crazy because I didn't know I did it.
You just someone gave you ayahuasca?
I was in Rio. The third time I made it, by the way, I tried the first time I couldn't get on the plane. The second time we screwed up to get to Rio. The third time I made it to Rio. I've had 3 different flights to this place.
Okay.
So we go to Rio. It's beautiful. It's cool because it was one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah.
Jesus de Cristo, right? Because I wanted to do all the 7 wonders of the world. So we're there and we're having fun, the beaches and everything. And then one night we end up in a club and we're drinking in this club and everything. And this gorgeous girl that can't speak English is dancing on me. And I realize in this moment, I never, ever want to be in a club ever again in my life.
Okay.
I'm just like, I'm done with this. I'm just like, what's going on? I can't talk to anybody. It's just, right? And so I'm like, I got to get out of here. So the next morning, ironically, my buddy Jason's there at this one too. I wake up, I go, I'm out. We're leaving. And we have our thing booked for another week. I'm like, we're leaving. He's like, yeah? I'm like, yeah, screw this place. He's like, okay, where do you want to go? I go, scuba, beach, small town. I got to get out of this. He goes, okay, let's go. So we just pick a random spot on the map. And then we get a random taxi and we leave. That's it.
Okay.
Like, that's my buddy Jason. Okay, cool. Let's get out of here.
He's just ride or die.
Yeah, I have some buddies. That's it. So we end up in this random town where to get to the beach, you can only boat or hike in this long hike.
Okay.
So then there's restaurants. And what I mean by restaurants is there's sticks that they're cooking fish over fire.
Yep.
Like there's
I
no
bet you that
structures.
was so
And they
good.
send the kids into the water. The kids are spearing the fishes and they bring them up. And there's like 4 different women just sitting there by open fire selling fish.
How incredible is that?
Yeah, so we eat some fish, we hang out, and at the very end, there's these women, these 3 ladies that are women, girls, not ladies. They were selling just drinks and coffee, and they live in tents. So we're hanging out, and we're having drinks, and so we hang out for a while. It's cool, and it's beautiful, gorgeous beach, and so we go to leave. Well, as we're leaving, I forgot my flip-flops. So I'm like, crap. So I go back, and I'm grabbing my flip-flops, and I'm about to leave, and the girl goes, hey, American, you can't leave. There's a flash flood coming. And I go to say something. She goes, no. You're going to die like the last tough American. She's like, I get it. You're a tough American. She's like, within 10 minutes, that's a flash flood. So I go, okay. So I get under. They don't even have shelter. They just have a steel lean-to out there.
So is it like torrential downpour at this point, or is it coming?
It was coming. So I get under this, and I'm talking 10 minutes later, torrential downpour, flooding. That it would have sweeped out, so people get killed on the trail a lot.
Yep.
My buddies barely make it back. I'm out of I have no phone anyways. They barely make it back. My buddy Caitlin's like, what about Shane? And Jason's like, 3 Brazilian girls, he's going to be fine. Right?
Yeah. Bummer.
He's going to make it. Right?
He's trapped.
He's
Yeah.
going to survive. Right?
Boo-hoo.
He's like, what about us?
Yeah.
So, and my buddy Nick, it was those guys, my buddy Nick. So then we sit there, and so long story short, they couldn't start a fire, but I'm able to start a fire because I was a firefighter my whole life. My dad taught me stuff. And so they get all impressed. It's 3 girls, this random guy. And then throughout the night, we have this awesome conversation that rotates between Portuguese and English because some people didn't speak either or. And so there would be an hour where I'd sit there and just watch people talk because I couldn't understand
100%.
them. And we're having this cool interaction where there's warmth and fire, and they're giving me, they have barely nothing. They have nothing, and they're sharing the wine and the crackers or whatever. And then they let me stay in one of their tents and everything. And the next morning, I go to leave, and the storm passes, and they go, American, we want you to know, like, we were talking, and we've been called to have you come back and do a tea ceremony with us. I go, what do you mean? They're like, well, we like your energy. We're going to drink tea later. Do you want to try it out? I'm like, okay. By the way, I don't know anything outside I think it's tea. Like normal tea. So she goes, but the rules are for this ceremony. It's kind of our heritage thing. You can't drink alcohol or anything like that. I go, okay, that sounds awesome. So we go scuba dive, right? And we go dive and have the dive was all right. It was all murky. But we do a dive. We come back and I tell Kaylin, I'm like, hey, bro, don't drink anything. I'll get you in on this tea thing. He's like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know. Hot Brazilian girls giving us tea.
Well, we got an invite.
We got to do. So we go, we're on the beach, and they start a fire, and the sun goes down, and she says a bunch of stuff. I have no idea what's going on. She's speaking Portuguese and stuff, and they pass around this tea. Well, I'm thinking it's just, I don't know. I didn't ask any details. I'm just like, okay, this is awesome. So then we're like, I'm like, this is kind of like, I feel kind of like loosey-goosey, I guess you could say.
After how much?
I don't know, just a couple glasses. Okay. It wasn't enough to like take you to outer space or anything, right? But this one guy next to us just freaks out. This guy just starts freaking out. And I'm like, what's going on here? And this guy runs.
What type of freaking out?
Like he was seeing something.
Okay. He's running from something.
He's like, it's right over there. And he ran. And so at first I got up to like go after the guy and I'm like, well, I don't know him that well.
He'll be fine.
Good luck. Like at first I was like, I'm going to help him.
We just met. He's
yeah,
good.
like we scuba-ed a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I talked him into the ceremony because he went scuba diving with me. And I'm like, dude, you should do this tea thing. Oh, gosh.
No,
I never
he's
saw
out.
it. By the way, I never saw him again.
No.
I'm sure he's okay. I forgot about that.
No.
It's me, Kaylin. This girl. No, he ran off.
God.
The Juan is out there running. So I forgot about it. So the whole time it's like I see some trailers and everything, but I'm so loose. And then the next morning I'm like, Jason, I'm like, oh my God, I just feel like I should connect with nature. And he's like, shut up. Like, because we don't know.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm just being some hippie. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. And I think flow is what I should do. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I think all my employees should flow and get into nature. So every year I'd come back with these new initiatives. And this year I wanted everybody to research flow because I researched flow. It sparked me to research the combination flow and art. And you know what I mean? And your flow state. And I know my flow state now. And so I would come back and looking back, like my employees thought I was probably an idiot. I'm like, everybody needs to turn their phone off and go in the wilderness for a week and flow and you will sell more. And they're like, okay. Yeah. Well, looking back, it's because I did ayahuasca. And I had no idea I did ayahuasca. So I come back like art and flow. And it's like, all right, Shane, we're a production-based company. So I had no idea. I'm talking no idea for 5-6 years until I'm watching a Joe Rogan podcast and he says ayahuasca and I grab my book and I open it up on like the Brazil page and I go, no way. And I scroll down and I'm like, that's what I drank.
How incredible.
No idea. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. So I knew it was real because I didn't have any placebo because I had no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? I'm like,
Okay.
well, how interesting, like to be surprised like that. And so it stuck. I'm like, just trusting random Brazilian women on the beach.
Hey, we've all been there.
You know, the old, that's happening in Nampa.
Yeah.
So then time goes on and I start leaning into my vulnerabilities through some things, right? Through my sister, I just started realizing that the only way to help my sister through her addiction and help some of my family members is for me to be vulnerable like that. That's it. It's the only path. And then I start talking to my buddy Nico, and I'm like, hey, man, what about this, just like you're looking at, this ayahuasca stuff? So we would go down, him and I went down and did in central Costa Rica, I think Costa Rica. And then we get there, and it's at this place, whatever. And the first day, they're like, okay, we're going to do bufo. And by the way, I have no idea, right? So I don't even know what bufo is.
Oh, the frogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, wait, I thought this was a tea. They're like, no, there's some frogs. I'm like, okay.
I'm in.
So because I'm like, oh, well, I'll just try this stuff out once, a frog. So in my mind, like, I'm just like, well, this is a frog in nature and this is roots and leaves. Like, I'm always asking questions and God will answer it to me, right? God doesn't want me to do crystal meth, so I haven't done that, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I did it, I drink it and I'm in a white room. Morgan Freeman, Jesus white room. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that room.
Yeah. The Jim Carrey one?
Yeah. So I'm in there and I'm like, it's the most stillest I've ever been in my life, but I know I'm nowhere. I know I'm in between things. And I know I'm in between things because moments ago I was making fun of it because right before these shaman guys are sitting around, I'm sitting in this group and these guys and they go, you smoke this, whatever. And I don't like smoking things anyways. And there's a crack in the actual glass. And I go, hey man, there's a crack, and the guy goes, Shane, we're all whole. We are one. We are all developed. There's cracks in all of us. And the whole time I'm going, bro, there's a crack in your crack pipe. I'm not trying to discuss energy. Is there glass? Are glass shards gonna go in my throat? Give me screw. Just smoke. I'm like, this guy's going so deep. I'm like, no. I literally, your thing's broken.
No, for real, for safety. I'm gonna do this. But do you got a fresh
I'm
one?
like, F it, give it to me. Let's go. So boom, there I am, Morgan Freeman white. And I'm like, and there's 4 like orb things, like they're tall, and there's like a sheet over it, it's like membrane, and I know there's something, but they're nothing. That's me in this, wherever it was. In the real world, Shane on this earth is going through some trauma. I'm screaming and crawling.
Are you?
And shouting, what the fuck? I'm screaming. And my buddy Nico, they had to bring my buddy Nico in because literally he's the only person in that room that could stop me from doing whatever. And he comes out and he's like guiding me and trying to make sure I'm safe because I'm crawling around screaming. And I come out of this thing, right? That was it. And I come out and Nico's there and everybody's away from me. And I go, uh-oh, what did I do? He's laughing. He's like, oh boy.
You're like, shit.
Yeah. And the reason why that was impactful is when I saw Nico go, he laid back and was like, oh, I see Jesus and God. like he laid down all peaceful. I'm like, different experience? He's like, oh yeah. So I'm like, I'm done with this. This is crazy. And him and I talk about it and they're like, well, we're going to do it again. And I'm like, the next day. So I finally went, okay. And so the next day we did it and I went super deep, turned into energy like an orb and flew out into the universe and saw friends and family and all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Just a pixelated, organic, like energy. You ever grab an electric fence?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Electric fence. That energy level. That's it.
Oh, shit.
Felt that feeling. Any country boy knows what I'm talking about. Whoever's peed on an electric fence or grabbed one. That was it. And it was the highest level of energy as she's laughing about peeing on an electric fence.
She saw me. I don't know. You were there on the island. My dad had a garden. He told me the hot wire line was off.
Yeah.
He's got it for deer around his garden. Boom. No, I'm leaning, trying to grab some tomatoes, and it right across. And it floored me.
Yeah.
Floored me.
So picture that, your body humming at a high level while mentally being a flying orb in outer space.
What's with the toilet?
So that was the next day. Yeah, they're looking at the art.
Is this the purge?
Yeah, so the next day, and I'm like, well, I didn't even know I was going to smoke a toad, the first day. But I'm like, okay. Like, Nico and I are like, I guess we came here to do this. Okay. So the next day, we go up the third day, we go up into the forest with some Indians in this little shanty to do ayahuasca.
Oh, you haven't even got there yet. This was just the toad?
I didn't even, that was just a toad. I had no, and I'm skipping all the details of both of them, right? Like, it was intergalactic. And so now, we haven't got the ayahuasca. I didn't even know there was a toad. So we go up in the forest, and here's these Indian people, and like, most don't speak English except for one guy, and kind of this woman. And so we drink the tea, and they do the ceremony. And I'm a skeptic kind of a person. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Whatever.
100%.
And then also I'm very fearful the same way as you, is opening up to evil spirits or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we do this thing, the whole works, we're doing it. And then I'm like, okay, it's kind of seeing lights and stuff. And then I make fun of it. I'm like, well, this is like, whatever. Right? I'm like, this is the, and then I'm like, the lady's like, you want to take some more? The Indian lady. I'm like, yeah, it's at night, there's a fire. Cool. And they're banging drums. I go, yeah.
Never take more.
And I took more. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I can feel the control being lost. And I'm like, I want to do this. I'm trying to fight it. And I looked in the light right at me, and this girl goes, I see a lion in the tree. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Right? And I'm like, I start wandering down this path, and I'm like, oh, everything starts, and I start purging and throwing up, and like, it gets in.
What was the purge like? I asked because one of the most fascinating conversations I've ever had on this show that we weren't able to air, a woman told me how she regurgitated a set of testicles from her purge.
Yeah. There's so much depth and symbolism in different people, like the old ranch dressing thing, right?
Yep.
Like everybody thinks it should be the same, but it's not, because we're all individual people, right? And so with me, mine, it was like black and negative streaming out of me as I was sinking into the earth. And what it was my ego. It was like, oh, you think, and what was going through my head is all like, I think I'm so tough. I think I'm that strong. I think I'm that smart. I think like, and I'm like, here I am just getting annihilated physically, like, and then I look up and one of the shaman guys he's like, you got this, man. I'm like, I don't know if I got anything.
I better. Right? I'm in it.
And I'm like, I go stand against a tree and my arm goes into the tree. And I'm like, now my arm's in this tree and I'm stuck in this tree. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm in the forest. And so all of this, like you can see the heart, everything was breathing. Everything was breathing. Those were the colors. These are the colors that were all around me, that orange. And finally it's like, I kind of break through and it starts having this, all of a sudden it's like, positive feeling, and I wander to like the toilet and I go in there and I'm like, it wasn't fully positive, but then I sit on this toilet and I call it the portal potty because as I'm sitting
the portal potty.
Okay. As I'm sitting on the portal potty, this little swirl of color, like at a Looney Tune kind of thing, starts going in front of me and I look away. And I'm like, well, and I look and it starts coming back and I look away and I'm like, well, I did come here for this. And at that point I start purging out the other end. Okay. And I look at this and I just fall into it. And I fall into a portal. I disintegrate and it's perfect warmth. Perfect warmth. A lot of Indians. All my stuff is Indians and warrior-esque. Everything I have is warrior, like mythological warriors.
Okay.
And Indians, right? And I'm going through and it's like, it was almost like, okay, now you had the pain. And this is where it gets crazy. This Indian lady is floating towards me, kind of like an older Indian. And I go, oh, I've seen you before. And she starts talking to me. She's like, yeah, you have. Shane, you remember? And I go, no way. Backpedal in time. Last time I saw her, I was a senior in high school. And all of my friends, a lot of my friends are selling drugs, smoking, drinking, all that kind of stuff. I know my only shot is football. It's my only shot. Football, which I end up wrestling, ironically. Yeah. But I was supposed to go for football. I'm like, it's my only shot. So I'm not doing drugs. All my friends are cool. They let me be an athlete. I can hang out, I can party. We're all cool. Well, my friend's dad died, Nate, and we come back and he goes, hey man, you want to do these mushrooms with me? And I go, I'd never done anything. I didn't drink soda. I didn't drink a cigarette. And it was after his dad's funeral. I go, okay. So the first time I do is I ate the mushrooms of my buddy Nate out of the gates. And I would at one point see this glowing Indian on a tree, this woman. And when I talked to the woman on the tree at 18, she said, you're not allowed to do any drugs. That's why I've never smoked weed. She's like, you can do this every now and then. She's like, and that was it. That was this Indian lady. And so I've never smoked weed.
Forward.
That was the same lady.
How many years do you think had lapsed at that point?
Well, I was 18, so 20 years.
No shit.
And but what was really interesting is after that, there was one time I took it right after I was 18. The next night, I go up in the forest, and I'm in the forest, and we take a little bit more, and I look at my buddy, and I go, hey, man, my buddy Sean, I go, can I have some more? And he goes, there is no more. And we're in the forest, and I feel what I felt was addiction. It hit me. So I'm 18, and I want to get back to being as high as I was. And we don't have anything. And I go, whoa. And at 18, I went, oh, this is it. This is addiction. I want to get back to there, but I'm never going to get there. And so I need to listen to this Indian lady and not do drugs. And so that is why I have never... didn't get caught. I didn't do coke or nothing like that. I just said, okay, I get it. I go, and so that also has allowed me to have a lot of recovering alcoholics and drug addicts come through my program. So when I do the sales program, the Goated program is about recovery and being better in life. Mm-hmm. And so I've had so many people that are recovering drug addicts. Some would later die and relapse. I've had a lot die and relapse, but I understood. So what happened, which is like, is I got to understand, okay, here's this mushroom thing I took. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do drugs. Maybe I'll do this every now and then, which was like maybe 4 times over the course of 15 years. But God wanted me to understand, and this sounds, people can take this wherever you want, to understand people with addiction. So now I'm not critical. Now I'm not judgmental. Now I'm a sinner. Now I'm just as dirty as them because I did it. So I'm guilty. I'm a sinner. But I didn't have to do all the other stuff to understand that they're not bad people. They're just high. And so that, when I went through that process, I came out of that and went, whoa. And it was just like super intense, super vulnerable. I mean, my gosh, the different levels within that DMT drug is wild.
I have a question for you. I have a million questions for you. What's a story you've never told anybody? What's a story that you keep locked up that's not in the book?
You know, that's interesting. Because some of this stuff I don't really talk about. Like that one, to address this before I move to that, like even this stuff I'm like, don't like talking about publicly.
Okay.
Because I'm not interested in getting kids to do ayahuasca.
Absolutely. That's why I don't, that's why I'm very vocal about why I haven't done it yet.
Right? Because I feel it takes away that healthy, right? Like, so it's like, man,
But I've also heard a lot of people that it has fixed a lot of trauma. I'm so torn on it.
I think prayer, but if you were to do it, so I've had some very high level individuals do it with me for the first time, or just even mushrooms or anything, right? And that's what it takes. You got to trust the person, understand the whole works, because you are opening up. You are opening up realms. People that say different, you're opening up portals and stuff, right?
Sure.
And so I think a piece of me is I'm not wanting to promote kids to get high and all this kind of stuff and find answers. I think through health and prayer you can find the answers. This is something that can spark it, but it's been years since I did this because that allowed me to put the work in. And after that, I kept on my vulnerability journey. Now I have some friends that doubled down and tripled down. And that's fine. They're out there doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. Cool, that's their journey. I think I did enough that I understand what I needed to be, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's really, that you have to in order to, because then you're just chasing it or you're not going to get anything out of it, or it might open up the wrong realms if you're not mentally prepared or mature enough to be able to process the journey you're about to go on. I mean, I don't know. I'm so torn. I have such mixed feelings, emotions, thoughts on it, because I've never heard anybody come out saying it was horrible and destroyed their life. It could have happened. I haven't run into that yet, but I've also run into a lot of people I got my boy Vic that's here. He years behind bars, gangbanged, he's been shot, stabbed, you name it. I mean, he's done it all. And he went through ayahuasca, and he said he got to walk side by side with God. He's like, dude, he was right there. Like, I wasn't a believer before. I am now.
Yeah, I relived a past life after the bufo and ayahuasca. So now I'm ultra like sensitive. I'm talking. So, and I'm very visual, like art.
Sensitive, emotional wise?
More sensitive than ever before, which for us is probably not as sensitive as what people want us to be, right?
I don't know. I'm a pretty sensitive, having been a girl dad. That's wrecked me. I'll cry over some dumb shit. I'll watch a TikTok, some dad and son be like, bumblebee bread.
Yeah. My son's 2.5. My son, I'll tell you what, like my son makes me cry because I'm like, oh my gosh, because he'll just like, he loves me. I'm just like, dude, this kid is all about me. When I drop him off daycare, he is strong, he's physical, he's athletic. He's only 2.5, but he will fight tooth and nail just to stay next to me, and physical. And I remember a couple times I woke up and he's just staring at me, right? Just staring at me, and he's just so excited for me to wake up.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and the crazy part is the amount of love they give us that is so undeserving.
We don't, and yeah, kids will change you. It's the greatest gift we'll ever receive.
Oh, so much. Now you had daughters. I had a son. I needed my first as a son.
I needed daughters. Who I was devastated. I wanted nothing. I didn't even want kids, let alone girls. And I found out when we were having our second daughter, I was devastated. I was a piece of shit. I was kind of checked out and like, all right, let's do this. Didn't even want the second one, let alone a girl.
Yeah.
And the whole entire time, everyone's like, dude, you're going to have your little son. It's going to be a little Bam Bam, little Bambini running around. I'm like, and I hype myself up.
Yeah.
You know, with all my military buddies and everybody encouraging him. And the whole time the wife's like, you're having daughters. Like, you're a dirtbag. You and all your Marine friends are all scumbags. You're all having daughters. It's just, she's like karma for all of you. She was right. I don't think I have one friend that has a son. And, man, that's what I needed. And they brought me to my knees. And they still do every day. Man, everything's a new chapter. And she just turned 18. And now I'm closing that chapter of having a kid. And I got an adult. It sucks.
Growing humans.
It's the greatest thing ever.
It's so, and it's
the greatest gift. If you do it right and you're intentional about it.
Yeah. I am super blessed because I'm telling you, God has never blessed someone more than Shane Hall. You'll never meet someone more. Dude, I'm telling you, he just like the amount of like the stories we're talking about is like a drop in the bucket. Yeah, they're cool stories, or like the amount of people that help me. Oh my gosh. And the fact that my son is healthy and happy and my family and dude, I'm like abundantly every day. I like to start up before I look at my text messages or anything. I have a morning routine of I just get a cup of coffee. My hand hits the cup of coffee. The warmth triggers me to do thankful prayer. If I can just do thankful prayer, I think anybody out there, if you can do thankful prayer and breathe and let your brain start before you look at your phone, that is the number one healthiest thing anybody can do. Literally, do not start your day by looking at your phone. Don't do it. Because what's the chance of a text or an email or something or
Ruins
being
it.
negative?
Sets the tempo right there.
Yeah.
You open it up and the video's getting a bunch of shit for somebody not agreeing with it. And you're just like, what the this
and
is
immediately your energy. So just wake up
Start.
10 minutes early, and do something intentional. So I do French press coffee. And then when my hand hits it, it's triggered. Now that warmth, I sit there and I go, gosh, I'm so blessed. Like today, I'm just hanging out with my son. I'm like, you want some eggs? He's eating bacon, killing the bacon, right? And then after I got done, and I do my thankful prayer because now I can feel I'm paying attention to my toes, my ankles. Anybody's had a lot of surgeries.
Oh yeah.
I've had every ACL, LCL, this arm snap in half, broke my neck, everything, right? When you physically feel good, that's a blessing. But when I get caught up in the world, I forget to thank God for that.
Every time. Every time. I love grounding. I'm a big thing with phones. Like that's why we disconnect every night. We have a charging dock station.
Oh, it's awesome.
In the kitchen, no phones in any rooms, so you're not going to bed with it. You wake up. We removed all of that, and that was a huge change right there. And I have my neighbor. His parents live next door, and they're a Korean family, nicest people ever. And I was out. I rotate it, but I go in. I make my morning shakes. I don't eat breakfast. I got to drink it. I'm one of those weirdos. But I go out front and I just stand there, and the sun's coming up in the morning. I look over last week, and he's standing there staring at the sun. And I look at him, and he looks over at me, and I'm like, yup. I'm like, I get it, bro. And he's like, you ground too? And I'm like, dude,
awesome.
You're just getting caught up. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those things. That's how I try to start the day, and then I jump into the social media,
the world, right?
The world is just full of hate and misery right now.
But if you can get your body centered, then social media can be good.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
That's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Because I got a video that's going viral, and dude, I've never been hated on so much in my life. I've never been crucified, bro.
Which one is it?
It's about a woman telling her story of going to the Congo. And the Congo, to my understanding, is a pretty dangerous place. I actually probably shouldn't even mention it because I'm getting attacked by this. 10 million views later on one video. Of talking about
blessing and curse.
Talking about what a white racist piece of shit I am. I don't know anything about the Congo, but I'm like, there's some movies on the Congo, and there's a lot of information. Granted, it's not on the top 5 most dangerous countries in the world, but there's some really gnarly parts to it. Anyway, she's telling her story. I cut this video up to try to just get the point across in a clip. It makes it look like I'm interrupting her a bunch. Of course.
Made it look like.
Okay, she does. She's like, I'm not taking credit.
So you're poor editing a bit. Sorry, there it is. You okay? I suck at editing a little bit.
Yeah,
okay.
And but nobody, typical internet, nobody gets the concept. It's a 30 to minute and a half long video. I clipped it up just to try to get a point to the conversation because you have 3 to 5 seconds of people's attention span. So yeah, I chopped this whole thing up. Like everybody was asking for a part 2. I wasn't even going to post the video. I had to go find it, chopped it up really quick. It was like an 8-minute video, brought it down 10 million views later, and I am getting roasted on it. But the point of this is I've gotten to the point in my life where okay, right? You can't let
Dude.
other people's opinions, thoughts, whatever it may be, affect and ruin the rest of your day. I let that happen for so long. And now I look at it, I'm like, cool, I'm monetizing off of this. And I'll just go in and drop a comment on somebody that has a top comment just to piss them off. All you have to type is wrong. And dude, just kicks the hornet nest all over again. They don't realize I'm just sitting here watching them. You could talk all the shit you want on me, but I'm over here, man, cool. I get to work with my kid. I sit in sweatpants.
Bro, and you're trying. Here's the thing, dude. You're just doing and you're trying. And oh, guess what? Whoops, I screwed up. You're not here's the problem is people can't handle what you're handling. And so they never get their truth. You know what the truth of it is? The more you try, the more your nonprofit is going to help other veterans reach what they need. Yep. But you know what? If you got to take a couple bullets and freaking get beat up along the way, that's okay. Absolutely. But most people don't have the balls to be able to be wrong. That's okay. You're wrong. Mm-hmm. I edited it wrong. Cool. Yeah. That's what happened.
Yeah. And we're over here laughing about it because this is our business, is monetizing views, right?
Yeah, and it's great, and wrong is good, and good is wrong, right?
Now, there's a thing when I disagree with the bad publicity, still publicity. I'm not one of those people that sit on that side of the tracks, but hey, it's social media. Like, I'm going to sit here and let somebody that's in another country affect the rest of my day.
Well, and it's tough because it's like you never know. Is it a time thing? Is it really bad? I mean, I think about system and process. I think the organizations are like, you need to go to school, you need to do this, you need to do X, Y, Z. And I'm not anti-education. I'm pro-education, to speak clear. I got my college degrees. I think kids should go to college or get an apprenticeship. I think if you're not going to college, you need to educate yourself. So like, I'm not even anti-establishment and stuff. I'm saying the establishment is producing anxiety, depression, and people that are poor. The average American has over 40% Americans, around 40, only have $500 in their bank account. 40%. And then anxiety, depression, and stress are an all-time high, right? So it's like, okay, there's some data out there.
Lots of it.
Right? Out. And I think it's a lot because everyone's so stuck on the conventional route. Two areas that I know were completely unconventional that I took a lot of flack was when I did start my business, when I flew down to swim with sharks, and the other was how I do jiu-jitsu. Both of them, I took a lot of flack along the way that I was doing it completely wrong. The shark one, as I got drunk watching Shark Week, and I'm on the boat in Africa with Jason's there too. Man, maybe Jason's a bad influence.
He seems to be a part of
or a great influence.
Whatever side you're looking
he's been in a lot of these stories. And so we're there. And we swim with the great whites. He grabs the cage. They're awesome. There's, awesome, cool. And this Australian guy gets out and he goes, I don't have an Australian accent, but he's like, the great white. He's like the only beast that can't stop swimming. If it does, it'll die. I was like, well, that's interesting. So did you know the great white shark?
I didn't know it was just a great white. I've heard sharks, a lot of sharks can never stop.
Some sharks can, but the great white for sure can't. And I'm like, this is the most alpha dude in the ocean. So that night, him and I, at the time, we drank a lot, right? We climbed up onto some roofs in Cape Town, Africa, and we're just having some drinks on top of these buildings, like 3-4-story buildings, right? Mm-hmm. And I go, man, that's the path. He's like, what do you mean? I go, I'm going to do door-to-door again because I did the 1 year and never again.
Yeah.
But I went, I'm going to start a business too. He goes, what's your business? I'm like, I don't know, but rich people have a business. This is it. Rich people have a business. I'll start an LLC. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out, I'm just going to be a great white shark. I'm going to knock doors until I make $100,000. I go, that's it. Rich people make $100,000. And then I'm going to invest it all. That's your business plan? I'm like, that's it. Drunk.
As far as I've gotten.
That's it. So that was it. So I fly back and I call a place to start a business. Well, at the time I had no money because I paid all my debt and stuff. And so I was selling like movie tickets, like a timeshare thing.
Okay.
I get like, everybody goes in, I get $20.
Okay.
And so this company calls me and they're like, hey, this Shane Hall. I go, yeah, like we're calling about your business. I'm like, awesome. Yeah, I'm going to start one. They're like, yes. And they hit me with these really tough questions. Question 1, what is your business? Well, I didn't know. So I go, marketing and PR. My degree's in PR. They're like, oh, okay, cool. And then they hit me with a second tough one. What's your business called? Because I was just in Africa and I woke up the next day, I sent an email. I just Googled start business Idaho, and I sent an email to a random company. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
And so now they call me and they have the audacity to ask for a name.
What's the name of this business?
Like I'm just starting a business here. You want all these details. So like, no, ooh. So I'm like, okay, my Africa email went through. Forgot I sent that. So then I'm like, in this movie, they're trying to sell $20 movie tickets because I ain't got any money. And I go, what's the business name? And I look up, and I've still never seen it. A movie called Vantage Point. I need to watch it, but I've never seen it. And I go, Vantage. And it was in theater 1. I go, Vantage 1. They go, why? I'm like, because it's an advantage to work with me, and I'm number 1. And they go, all right, let's find out. And they call back. They're like, congratulations, you're in business. I'm like, yes. So my LLC to this day for 18 years has been Vantage 1. No one sees it. It's worth some good amount of money. It's killed it. And it was because I was watching Shark Week. And then so I was like, sweet, now I have a business. And so I tell my boss, I'm going to go knock doors this summer in California with my buddies and sell alarms door to door. And I'm going to make $100,000. The lady's like, you're an idiot. I don't even make $100,000. I'm like, well, I'll just knock till I make $100,000. And I'm like, she's like, you're an idiot. I'm like, okay. So I go to LA and Compton and Inglewood and Watts, and I knock with my friends, and I just start knocking. And I mean, I saw a person get shot in Compton. I had guns pulled on me in East LA, name it. And my whole business plan was minimal 30 text messages a month, no texting between 1:30 and 9 p.m., and knock until I make $100,000. And never sit down like a great white shark. That was my business plan.
How long did that take?
Well, I planned on doing it in 4 months.
Okay.
Didn't hit that. So we get to the end of the 4 months and the season's ending. And I'm with some buddies. And a lot of my buddies had a worse year than the year before. And my buddy Benny's there too. And I go, crap, well, I didn't make my goal. So my buddy Jason was the manager. I go, well, when you go out to school, can I just keep the office open and me manage? I'm like, it's the only way. And so I convinced them to let me do an extended season and keep all the housing open. And I would just manage people. I'm like, I can do this because I need to make money. So I ended up making $120,000 because I pushed through. And then I went back and I invested 100 of it into literally set aside 20,000 for my taxes, took 100,000 with my friend Dan, who's a broker, and put it into a bond to build a power plant.
No shit.
At 8%, and bought a $75 mattress and was renting for like $300 from a friend because this guy named Dan, freaking Dan, he's still my broker. He goes, well, if you become your own bank, no one will ever be able to tell you what to do. He goes, rich people are their own banks. And I go, what do you mean? He's like, well, you have option A. Because I was like, I'm going to buy a BMW. And he goes, why? I go, I don't know. Everyone's buying BMWs. He goes, you want to be wealthy or what's your goals? I go, well, I just want to be in a spot that my son doesn't live in a trailer, that I can help my family, that I can be a person that my family can come to me. And he goes, well, how does a BMW get you there? And I go, like, guess it doesn't.
Great question.
Yeah, he's like, how about you become wealthy first? And I go, okay. He goes, here's this bond. I've only invested one time before. The year before, I invested like $5,000. It's my second investment in my life. 23.
That's big.
It's made $120,000, and he's asking me to give up 100 of it. And I'm going. He goes, this is a power plant. They're going to build the power plant, or a prison, one of the two. And you get this much for 8 years at 8%. Is 8 or 10% return? And I go, oh my gosh. And my heart sinks. And he goes, but if this works, you'll be out of the system the rest of your life. And I cut him a check for $100,000 into that power plant.
How did it turn out for you?
It paid for 8 years at 8 to 10% and compounded. And I used that to start borrowing on down payments for my duplex and borrowing and using and leveraging and elevated my wealth aggressively.
No shit.
So within 12 months of doing door to door, probably 15 months of doing door to door, I went from on a couch, a complete idiot, turning down jobs, the whole works, to knocking doors, to investing, to immediately being in the top 1% of cash flow and wealth in my age bracket. And then the trick was this. I couldn't tell anybody. So now you don't tell people you have money.
No. Because then everybody comes out of the woodwork.
So then it was like I would hire people, and then I was like, okay, How about I just do this? I travel the world. I'm like, this is it. This is the and. This is how I can stay healthy, exercise. This is how I can build wealth, that I can help people and my family and travel the world. This is it. This is the and.
Good for you, man.
And then the next year I met Alan Bullen and Dave Bullen. And a guy named Ryan Lee was their business partner. And this guy named Ryan Lee said, I will teach you how to become a millionaire. And he goes, I'll teach you all this stuff. If you come work, the company's called AMP. He goes, if you come work for us at AMP and do the same thing you're doing at the other company, the company's called Vivint, but the trainings at Vivint, they were teaching people to buy BMWs and blow their money. Mm-hmm. So they stay in debt. And I had this wild idea. I go, what if I could teach people to do what I do and help people get wealthy? And people said, don't do it. I go, what do you mean? They go, they'll leave you. If you teach people, if they have no debt, they'll leave.
So that's the key, is to keep them in debt, keep them buying the nice shiny things, and then they have to go hustle harder for you to pay for their bills in certain sales worlds, not yours.
No.
Just generic.
Well, think about it. In every part of the world, what part of the world, if we were to sit here and think about it, so sales, buy a car so you can hire people, flex so people want to work for you.
Yep.
But in the real world too, okay, you got a raise. What's the first thing that you go buy?
Car,
new
furniture,
car,
whatever you need, what you've been sitting on and the wants.
Right? So it's really the racket. And so I was like, I disagree. So I was having this disposition, this push. I'm like, my dad was like a wrestling coach and he coached wrestling for free to help people. I'm like, why? And so then this guy, Ryan Lee, goes, hey man, come work an AMP. And Alan's like, I'll teach you how to do it. And Ryan's like, I'll mentor you. So this guy, Ryan, dude, I score huge. He would go on, I would work the 6 months in the summer and he would fly me around the world and teach me about finance.
Really?
Yeah. He'd call me up. He's like, where do you want to go? I go, what do you mean? Anywhere in the world. I go, California. He's like, what are you talking about?
He's like, the world.
No, he's like, the world. I'm like, well, California's cool. He's like, Shane. He's like, no, anywhere. So we went to Greece, went to Spain, went to Portugal, went to Africa. He literally took me around the world and he would teach me about financing, about compounding interest, like leverage, S&P 500, you name it. This guy took me on his wing as he built AMP. This guy's super smart. He would sell his portion of AMP, start a solar company called Blue Raven, sell that for $170 million, and now he bought a ranch in southern Utah, which guys like Kevin Costner and all these famous people rent his ranches for movies.
Damn.
Yeah, he actually did a deal with Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner rented his ranch. What's the last one he did?
The Yellowstone ones?
Right after Yellowstone, he did.
18. No, that was the
other guy. Oh my gosh, I was an extra in the freaking movie. Google Kevin Costner movie. So he recently just rolled it out. It's a 3-part trilogy, and he just produced a whole movie, and a lot of it was on my friend's ranch.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
He actually put me in the contract to get me as an extra on the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Good
at the
for
last
him.
second.
Yeah. What a homie. P.S. All my friends will be extra.
Yeah, like, dude, this guy's that cool to me. This was only 2 years ago. Like,
no
Kevin
shit.
Costner and so he mentored me along the way. I own so much to like him and Alan and all these people about growing his wealth. Oh my gosh, God just gives me these guys. And like, I mean, he's so high level. The other day we're on the phone. He's like, Dell's calling me. And I get off the phone. And he called me back, and I'm like, why are you dealing with your printer service? He's like, no. Dell, the 5th richest person in the world.
Damn.
Because they're talking about his ranch.
No shit.
Yeah. And he called me back still, and he still calls me back.
You're a fascinating dude.
He taught me so much about compound. He taught me all the stuff you don't know when you're poor. And I feel like all I want is people to know that. So there's the GOATed project, right? Where I work out the top athletes and people in the world and we tell their story through art. Awesome.
Yep.
All I want is that guy's platform up. We work out, here's some awesome art by some of the greatest athletes in the world. It's fun. Then over here, I have my GOATed program that guys come through. And when you work with me, you just don't do sales. We do solar roofs. I have a solar roof company over in North Carolina, and I have a roofing company in home services here. I plug in. You're going to do door-to-door sales. You're going to learn marketing, the whole works. And I'll teach you how to clear your debt, how to start your portfolio, and your LLC. And I have guys that have worked with me for about 15, 16 years. And I've produced millionaires, debt-free doctors, all-American athletes. So many studs have come through the program. But what makes me happy is they're like debt-free. They're out of the machine.
Yep.
And now they can help and impact the world.
That's the biggest hurdle, is getting outside of the machine. I'd say the majority of people don't even realize they're in a machine.
Right.
Which is debt, interest, loans, just the rat race of the 9 to 5, working your whole entire life away for somebody else. Like, that's the machine. And you talk to these, I'll talk to guys, once you figure it out, once you break the code,
Yeah.
you look at everything different. They're like, money isn't shit. Once you break the code, you realize it doesn't mean anything, and you just start compounding.
Yeah.
I guess that's been my biggest thing, is like, how do I get? I feel I've always been right, and then something will happen, and then I'm right to that threshold of stepping through. And like, oh, okay, because we live a very simple life. Like, our trucks are, one truck's paid off, one's almost about to be paid off. We don't have toys. We don't buy dumb shit. I mean, dude, I went clothes shopping for the first time. My wife's like, we've been together 17 years. This is the third time I've ever seen you clothes shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need to. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But, so it's one of those things. Okay, so if if there's young men out there that are looking to change their life, how do they get a hold of you?
Shane_Hall___. Shane Hall. That's my Instagram.
Okay.
That's the easiest way. Send me a DM. And I have active guys that are college athletes. I have freaking guys that John Kennedy, who's starting fullback for Iowa. You name it. I've had guys, pro
Go-getters.
athletes. And then I've had guys that were freaking Braden Payne was just wanting to be a debt-free doctor. A cool story is Zach Sales started with me when he was 17, 18, and he worked for me for 7, 8 years, only made $8,000 his first summer, a full-time college student, and he cleared his debt. He followed the process, cleared the debt, start an LLC, make 6 figures, start investing, basic stuff, right?
Yep.
All the way through. And then he's like, hey, Shane, I want to start my own company. So I go, cool, let me help you out. So I help him launch Omega Roofing in Idaho. I said, there you go. And I have no affiliation with him, and I launch him. So then, come full circle, recently when I parted ways with AMP, I'm starting my own companies because I have the money, the backing, the resources, and the knowledge, right? And situation with my son and my family, I wanted a different process. So I'm asking Zach questions. Well, the cool part is when I helped him launch, he got highlighted by, Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah.
So Matthew McConaughey chose certain businesses in America. And because of Zach's door-to-door hustle during COVID, they got highlighted by Matthew McConaughey on a show. It's called Green Light Stories or something. I'll show it to you. So they get put on the show. They blow up. They do $3 million out of the gates because they're hustling, doing door to door. And so they were trying to get me on the show with them just because I was helping them.
Yeah.
Come full circle. Now they brought me into the company to help do their business strategy full circle, because now they're doing several million and they're growing. And their whole system's the same. When people come in, they want to help people grow and get out. And then they're family oriented. So all the services they do are long game because they have their wealth and their business. So full circle, he was a guy that started my business 15 years later. Now we're working together. And I've had all these guys come through the program, but I'm so proud that I'm like, they're healthy. Now they can contribute. When you're not bogged down by debt.
Yeah.
Right? So like, if someone wants to, send me a DM, you go out, and the whole idea is so you start your own company. My intent is if someone works in my business and you're getting stuff from like guys like you, hey, Bam taught me this. This Olympian taught me this. And then you put that into there, and then guys, do this and start your own company. I'm more proud of all the people that have come through that are running their own companies. There's millionaires out there, there's doctors, and it's so cool because it's not a make money, get in debt party. It's a health, wealth, self-development program.
How cool is that? Good for you.
It's been fun, dude.
Good for you.
But I'm kind of obligated, if you think about it, through the people that put time and energy into me.
For sure. You've been blessed. Why not bless others?
Yeah, like for you. So who's someone that blessed you along your way that you go, hey, man, this person filled my cup?
I had a mentor, a business mentor. He helped in so many different ways, but several years back, we actually went through a really hard time, and he was there for me on a lot of things. But as far as just knowledge and my old life of the utility world and all that stuff, and so I've had some really incredible mentors over the years, and later on, I feel the entrepreneur route. That was one of those ones that we jumped in all by ourselves. I'm one of those people. It's like, okay, only way for me to learn is to feel, touch, taste. Like I have to.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's like, okay, if this is going to work, people could tell me, hey, I'm actually one of those, if you're like, here's the game plan. I'll be like, oh, this is the game plan. I got it. Like, let me figure it. Then I'm going to do the game plan on my own. So when I get there, I'm like, fuck, thanks, dude, like for everything. And
but you'll take action.
Oh, have to.
And
Look, Ballin was here, and he was like, I'm going to go do jiu-jitsu. And we've been talking about it forever. And he goes to Eggley, and he's like, dude, it's 8 minutes from here. It's a great gym. And he's like,
did you go?
Yeah. So the whole family signed up.
Oh, yeah, really? Yeah. Eggley's my coach.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah.
He's a world champ. So you guys started rolling. We got the other day I invited you.
I know.
To call you out live on this podcast. He no-showed. I didn't
no-show.
I was standing outside the gym for 5 hours just, Bam, where are you? Where are you?
We're going to do it. I think we just got back from the cruise at midnight that night.
Oh, look at that, everybody. If you're going to let excuses get in your way. No, I was actually impressed that you actually said yes. It was like 6 a.m. I'm like, dude, don't come.
I had so much to unscrew after a week of unplugging. I was like, if I could get all this done, but no, I'm in. And well, my little one, dude, I'm like, okay, hey, we're going to go check it out. We check it out. They transitioned out of the Taekwondo era, and, we're rolling into that now. And I'm one of those dads, like, hey, you guys are going to be doing something physical. And now she's 18, she can do whatever she wants. But I'm like, if you're willing to do it, I'll cover it. I'll pay for what. If you want to better your training, I don't care how old you are.
And she should. For self-defense, confidence,
well, and it's not just the jiu-jitsu, it's the Muay Thai there too. So there's striking and ground, which I'm one of those. Like, I want my kids to have both. And then my little one's like, well, Dad, if we're doing this, why aren't you doing it with us? She's like, if it's good for my health, why isn't it good for yours? And as a dad, and how
old is she?
About to be 12.
Awesome.
But that's just who she is.
But
how am I going to look at my child and expect them to do what I'm telling them to do, and I'm not going to lead by example?
And what else are you going to do with that 45 minutes? What else are you going to do?
Die.
Yeah, right?
Dude, I go to the very first training session there. So I'm in this 90-day. Today's actually our 90th day, but I'm in this 90-day shreds in my community with a bunch of guys. So I'm crushing cardio every morning. I'm hitting doubles every day for this last 90 days almost. So I'm smoked. The little one's like, let's go, Dad. I'm like, all right. And those guys figured it out during the kids class. They started a little dad class on the side mat. So it takes away the excuse to be that dad that just sits there and armchair quarterbacks
so smart. Eggley, dang you, Eggley.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm like, smart black belt.
You know Dave there, right? The Jiu-Jitsu Jesus. I messaged him like, you son of a bitch.
Look at these guys.
You guys did this on purpose. Because when they were in Taekwondo, I mean, I'm training them. That's how they became world champs. I'm taking the credit for that shit because we trained in this room. And so, because our gym was shit, but I'd go and sit there and all these dads are just scrolling. They're all fat, out of shape, and then they're pushing their, keep going, buddy. Yeah. That's the example you're setting for your kid.
Yeah. It's so interesting.
So, but now when we do into this, I'm like, okay, cool. And so it's, man, I walk in and there's just gorillas. Like, I'm watching, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And this little kid, and I think he was an instructor or a coach, dude, just wrapped me up. And I haven't rolled in 12 plus years, 15 years. Felt so good. I'm drenched in sweat within like 5 seconds, gasping for air. I'm like, man, this is what I have missed. It felt incredible.
It's the good jiu-jitsu is good on so many levels.
For sure.
Because I wrestled, I did football, this different stuff, right? And jiu-jitsu, I think everybody should do a little bit of jiu-jitsu because or a one-on-one combat sport. You're a world champ. Your daughter's a world champion.
Both of them,
In what?
Taekwondo. She has 3 world titles in all the combat sports, not the weapons or
Well, do a one-on-one because I think that helps you understand accountability. It's just you, right? But I also think doing a team sport's good. So I liked football because then it helped build that. And then jiu-jitsu or wrestling are really good because it takes you into deep water and makes you uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because you're going to get choked out. You're never going to be the best.
Nope.
Especially Eggley. Eggley's a world champ, black belt, not going to be the best. Right? So I think I like that. I got into it, like I actually didn't want to do any more combat sports. After wrestling, I was done.
Broken, just beat up after all those years.
Yeah, I didn't even use my last year eligibility.
Yeah.
That's it. I was like, I got to go.
It's an incredible thing. I think it's every kid should do it. Every woman should do it.
Yes. Well, everybody I think can be a season of it. Here's the thing. I think if you're a kid or a woman or a man, just do a season of it. Do a 90-day thing or something. Because at the end of it, worst case scenario, you exercised, you have more body awareness, and then you grew because you challenged yourself in a different way.
Absolutely.
That's what I think. And jiu-jitsu will help you grow.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's belt system, they reward time. Wrestling will just
Break you.
Wrestling
just wears you out.
Wrestling breaks you down. And if you win a little bit and slip up, they will break you down. You'll never meet a black belt in wrestling that didn't win. It just doesn't. They don't give you anything.
Yeah.
You can wrestle your whole life; they'll give you nothing. Yeah. Wrestling takes. It just takes. Jiu-jitsu. That's why there's not a bunch of adult wrestling gyms popping up. Jiu-jitsu is great because it's a martial arts, right? And so so you and your daughter can learn. Oh my gosh. And people are nice.
I love the atmosphere in that gym. I've been in and out of gyms my whole life, and I always watch the kids, and that the atmosphere was incredible. The kids were helping other kids. The kids were rolling with grown ass men. It's just, I was watching, man, these people, because we've come from pretty toxic gyms.
Oh, really?
Where that's why we left the whole entire sport. The drama was so overwhelming. The gym owners the wife was just tyrant. If you cross her path, she just spewed lies and would attack and push, and we're the only ones in the whole gym competing. We're traveling all over the country representing their gym, and they're accusing us of things, and it just got to the point we actually left the gym, and that's where we ended up hanging our belts out of Vegas because they heard we left, but we were like a couple of months out from Worlds, and they're already qualified. And we're like, we're done. And so the gym out of Vegas was like, come hang your belts here. We'll take you.
Perfect.
Your daughters have beat the shit out of all of our kids the last couple of years.
And they're smart because they're like, hey, you guys just need a place and a process. And some gyms could be dumb and be like, well, you got to do it our way now.
Yeah. Why would you not want world title banners?
Some people don't.
I know. That's just the ignorance.
Because they want their process more than they want.
Our gym's better than them, and you got to come to our standard. It's like, okay, what if that was the case? And what it is. But yeah, that gym took us in, and we ended up winning our world titles. And
it's awesome.
Yeah,
and now you'll win a world title at jiu-jitsu.
I'm sure.
Totally going.
We just got to get her out. She likes the Muay Thai more. Her leg, which is really cool because with Taekwondo, you're striking with your dominant. Well, you're striking with your dominant leg, right? Because you fight southpaw technically. So, you stand on your dominant leg and you strike with your weak leg, or what? It's the opposite. Yeah. So in Taekwondo you fight with your strong leg forward, but in Muay Thai you're switch. So her going in there, it almost has an advantage because even the instructors are like,
She's like a lefty. She's like a lefty.
But she's naturalist, so it's not like you're teaching somebody that's just so she's unorthodox.
She's an athlete.
Both of them
gets it.
So they both have a natural southpaw inside the sport now from that being their original sport.
Dominate because everybody's going to come at you the same way. Now they're going to be switching up out of the gates.
So that gives them a huge advantage there. The little one likes the jiu-jitsu more. There's been some really cool girls there that have taken her in, and she feels really accepted. And it's a great gym. I love it. Now that my 90 days is done officially today, I'll probably be hitting it 3-4 days a week to get some cardio. That's going to roll. That's going to take over my cardio instead of
because I'll start training for Worlds here in a second. Like literally, I take time off and then I come back into it. Cool. And that's my cardio for sure.
Yeah.
And that's what's good about jiu-jitsu. And it's like where I struggled with. I didn't struggle with jiu-jitsu at first. I didn't get it. Because I was a wrestler and I didn't get it. I'm like, I just choked you out. Don't you give me your belt? Like literally, I had no idea, and that's why I told you I ran into my friend that was the operator.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I had I was never going to do a combat sport, and then when I flew out to hike Kilimanjaro, that's why I got into jiu-jitsu. Because all along the way, I reconnected with a friend of mine that was an athlete in college, and we bump into each other, and what's the acronym?
Naval Special Warfare?
Yeah, yep, NSW. So he's Naval Special Warfare, so,
AKA the cool guys.
AKA, and he's, the highest level special forces, and we're out there, and ironically, we're, like, messaging. He's like, you're coming to Africa. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming to Africa. He's like, well, if you're in Kenya. Okay, I'm going to be in Kenya, what's the chances? I haven't seen this guy in 15 years. And then he's like, well, if you're in Nairobi. And I go, I'm going to be in Nairobi. And he's like, well, send me your address. And all of a sudden, bing, he sends me, because I'm getting connected to Wi-Fi.
Yep.
He goes, I'm in your lobby. My driver drove me over. I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing. So I go down there and we dab it up. And he's like, bro, our hotels are connected. So I reconnect with him and a bunch of the special forces, and we're hanging out and chilling. And he ends up telling me his story where when I last saw him in college to where he's at now, he is like the elite of the elite in special forces, right?
Yep.
And we connect. Now all of a sudden hiking Kilimanjaro, I seem like a big wuss because they're out there doing real work. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go walk around
backpack
I'm gonna go backpack a hill. They're like, cute.
I got my trekking poles.
Yeah, like literally they're out there doing stuff. They're doing work. Like, what'd you come here for? We're gonna hike up a mountain. Like, oh, like really slowly at a casual pace. Yeah, maybe.
We're going to take a hot air balloon. We're going to see the hippos.
Might have that. Someone else is also, we have porters for our coffee. Like, dude, it was like, I was so demasculated immediately. These guys, beards, they're sitting there just like badasses.
Yep.
Like, Shane was a badass back in the day. Yeah, okay, thanks, man. So then, randomly, a couple months later, I see his unit, and there's something on the news, and I'm in a hotel room on the East Coast in Virginia. It says his unit operates nearby. I sent him a text. He goes, yeah, man, we're doing wind tunnel training tomorrow. Want to come? 10 minutes away.
Yup.
Cool. So I walk in to this wind tunnel training thinking I'm early. I get there at 5. They're already training. It's like 4 a.m. I came an hour early trying to be cool because he said 6.
Yeah.
They're there at 4. I walk in. One of the guys goes, hey, what's up, Shane? I haven't seen you since Africa. So I dab it up. So immediately people think I'm a dude because I got the 5 o'clock. I got the messy hair. I look like them, whatever. So we hang out and they're like, hey, sir, do you want your wind tunnel suit? I'm like, well, not yet. You know, totally like I'm just hanging out, doing what I want. Afterwards, I have breakfast with my buddy and we get caught up. And he's just like, hey, man, I wish we're training another special forces unit, stuff like that. I wish, you know, you could train with us and check things out. And I'm like, well, why don't we? And he's like, well, you got to get special permission and things like that. And I'm like, well, you are the most, coolest guy on the planet. So finally, through some stuff, he figures it out. Boom. All of a sudden, I'm on the base. I'm with other special forces. And I'm, they're training and stuff. They're kicking indoors.
Yep.
Guns, cool stuff.
Cool guy shit.
Everything. And then the only time I lied was one of the jiu-jitsu guys. Some were college wrestlers and stuff. One of the operators was like, hey, Shane, do you do jiu-jitsu? And I immediately say, of course I do.
You don't?
Yeah, right? Of course. And he's like, cool. Well, dude, you're cool. You should come back and train with us again for jiu-jitsu. And I go, of course. And my buddy goes, you do jiu-jitsu? I'm like, of course I do. So I don't. Like, let's be honest.
Of course.
But how can I say no?
No, you're in.
So I fly back. And we go on the base, and the problem is when you make up a lie like that and you don't own a gi, you show up, they ask, where's your gi? So I show up, and they go, get your gi, and I'm like, oh, I left it at home, right?
This was no gi.
Technically, I did leave it at home because I don't own it, and so they give me So they give me a gi, right? I'm like, because I don't want to pass up this opportunity, training special forces guys, let's go.
Yep.
And so they hand me one, and then they bring me to a bucket, and they go, okay, now get out your color belt. So just keep in mind, I've never seen belt colors in jiu-jitsu. I've never put a gi on and done that.
Black one looks cool.
I knew black is a no touch, right? And there's no black, right? And so I know that's the best. But I literally, I reach and grab a green. No. So for everybody listening, there is no green. There's white, there's blue, there's purple, there's brown, there's black. So I grab a green. And I remember a guy, is that what it is? I have no idea. This is the first time I found out what it was. So I put on
It could have been. That's what they went through.
Is that what green is? Yes. So I put on a Taekwondo belt, and I don't know how to tie it. So I tie like a knot. And that makes sense because one of the guys kind of looked at me weird, right? So I'm like, whatever. So I just tie it. Like, let's go. Let's bang, right? Yep. So let's go out there. We're rolling a little bit, and we're going to go live. And I was a physical wrestler. My buddy's like, hey, man, make sure you tone it down and don't get over the top. So boom, there we are on the tile. Just going to town. We went off that mat.
God.
We're tumbling. Okay, I got one guy just tapped me like 3 times. Another guy, we're going. We get done with it. I have a great time with these guys, right? And I'm like, cool, this is kind of cool. Well, because of that, it got me thinking. And Alan, my buddy Alan, who at the time wasn't a world champ yet, he goes, come to this class. And I go roll in this class, and I'm just tapping people out. It's basically wrestling, but you choke them.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and I lean against this wall next to a dude, and the guy goes, man, you should do the world championships. There's some masters worlds. And I go, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, well, how long you've done this? And I'm like, 2. He's like, 2 years ago, 2 days. and he's like, bro, you should do worlds. I'm like, what is this world thing? So I talked to Alan a little bit, and I go back in Idaho, and I get with a buddy of mine. It's a brown belt. He's coaching wrestling. His name's Vaughn Colton. I go, hey, man, this world thing. And I call some of my buddies who are world champs. And all my buddies, they're like, oh, yeah, top 3 in the world at blue belt, because that's what you'd be. I'm like, really? And so I go roll with him. I go, just roll with me and tell me. So I roll with him, and he goes, oh, yeah, top 3 of blue belt. I go, really? They're like, yeah. So then I'm like, give me the belt. So I go to sign up. I get on the app. Well, they won't let me sign up for the world championships. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, I'm going to go to the world championships, like right away.
Oh, God.
And they're like, well, you could do a tune-up. I'm like, I don't want a tune-up. 12 weeks is the worlds. I'm going to do the worlds. Like, you already told me I'm
signed up for it?
So I went to sign up, but the app won't let me.
Okay.
Because you have to be... So this is where the process starts.
Okay.
So this is where I become a big douchebag.
Yeah.
So you have to be a part of the IBJJF. Yeah. And then you can't sign up. You have to be a blue belt.
Okay.
And most organizations say you got to do it for 2 years to get a blue belt. So I go from gym to gym in Idaho saying, hey, my name's Shane. I need a blue belt so I can go to Worlds in 12 weeks. And they go, how many times have you done it? And I go, 2. They go, 2 years? I go, 2 times. So I go through this weird process, and I'm like, no. They're like, do you want to do a local tournament? I'm like, no, like a tune-up? No, not interested. I just want to go to Worlds. They're like, why? I'm like, because I have some friends that told me I'm top 3 in the world. Right?
You were that guy.
I'm that guy.
100%.
And my buddy Vaughn, I'm like, give me the belt. And he goes, I can't. I'm a brown belt. I'm like, so? I'm like, it's just a blue belt. I'm like, what's the deal here? Like, and so I'm thinking wrestling. I'm like, can I just go tap? Let me go to a gym and beat a guy and they'll give me the belt. He's like, it doesn't work that way. And so I'm bouncing around Idaho. And so I'm stuck. I'm like, I'm going to the world championships in 12 weeks. And I'm stuck in my head. I'm going to do gi because it sounds like it's harder. I've never done it. I'm going to lose, like, drop a weight class to lose weight. I'm like, I'm going. But no one will take me seriously. In their defense, I wouldn't either.
Yep.
So I call Alan, and Alan's working with a guy named Su Yan, who's my professor now. Shout out Su Yan. And Egley is my professor now, wasn't around. And then Carlos, who's a black belt professor. I go, I'm buying a ticket to Utah. Tell him I'm coming to practice. I need a blue belt. So he talks to them, and they're like, he's the wrestler guy or whatever. I'm like, yeah. So I go, hey, all I want is the blue belt. I'm going to go to Worlds. I'm going to win my first round, place top 3, and then win it. And so I go around, and all I could think of is tap all the colors out. Yep. So I'm like, because I got the wrestling background. And I tap all these colors out, and I'm like, I go, dude, just give me a shot. Just give me a shot. And if I'm not top 3 in the world, don't give me the belt. And so he's like, I'll see you at 6 a.m. So I go in at 6 a.m. with him and this big guy named Carlos. Carlos, they're both actual adult world champs, big Brazilian guys. Carlos kicks the living hell out of me. We're banging. I think I cut him open a little bit because I don't know what I'm doing. And we're just banging. And we get done going live. And I just go, I just need the belt. Just give me the belt. And so I'm like, I don't need a ceremony. And so in no ceremony, he gave me the blue belt and we signed up and I started training for Worlds. And then 10 weeks later, I'd break my rib. And then, so I broke my rib. And so I had to not do anything for 2 weeks and lose weight. Still went because I can't back out now. Went to Worlds, ended up getting 3rd, and then figured it out and then won it.
No shit.
And that's how I got into jiu-jitsu.
No shit.
That was the process.
Holy crap.
And it was really painful, though, those 10, 12 weeks. So I was training like 2, 3 a days. And when my rib broke, it's just because I was strained it too much. Luckily, I used peptides to heal it up.
Yep.
And I got literally like, it was a really hard 10, 12 weeks of camp. And I beat the #1 guy in the world, punched through, and this guy in the semifinals just ripped me out. Just killed me. Because I was just going as fast as I can. I'm just running up the points on these old wrestling scrappy.
Yep.
But this guy he just kicked the shit out of me. So that was it. And now I've been doing it 5 years. And yeah, man, it's been an awesome journey. And then now looking back, what a douche I was. Like, right. But I didn't want to do it the normal process. I didn't want to do the normal process.
Great why it.
I want to go to Worlds. I want to compete, and I want to test myself at the highest level now.
Yeah.
And that's allowed me to connect with a lot of world-class individuals and health level and stay in shape in a different way.
Love it, man.
So,
well, dude, I think that is a great way to end this conversation.
Yeah, and I'm
I
pumped you're
appreciate
doing
your time, man.
Dude, I appreciate your time, bro. Seriously, like,
It was great to get to know you, and
Dude,
this was
you're-
awesome.
dude,
I really
you-
appreciate this.
I appreciate you. Like, your journey's cool.
Thank you. Yours as well.
I love how much you're leaning into. I appreciate your vulnerability and stress along the way. Like, I can feel when you're talking about your emotion towards your kids. I can feel the abuse and hate you are probably getting sometimes if you do something the wrong way or post something the wrong way. And the fact that you're staying consistent
Have to.
is huge.
It's the secret to I tell everybody, if you're ever going to do anything, you just have to be consistent at it and never quit.
Yeah.
And I told her from day one, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I would tell her, hey, I don't need perfection. We don't need to be the number one. I don't care about any of that. Let's grind this for 2 years and I want every episode tweak something a little bit more. And that's how it was. And yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a great journey, and I appreciate everything that you've come on and done. And we're gonna have to go do some rolling. And
Yeah, and the thing is, at the end of the day, like the 1% improvement, like if you're improving a little bit and get a little better, that's it, right?
that's all you can do.
I think about my buddy Mike. He's my business partner now in North Carolina, but he's worked with me 10 years. And I think about, it's funny, we have these conversations, and when you see people improving, right?
It's really cool.
Like seeing like where he's at now or where he was.
Versus, yep.
And then I see my son, and I see your relationship with your daughter, and then even your process in life. And I think if everybody can just know it's all going to work out and let go of all the
Always does.
things, it'll be a way fun to ride.
Give it to God. Show vulnerability. Pray, cry. Spend as much time with your kids as you can.
Dude, rock and roll.
And life is going to be great.
Yeah, dude.
Again, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
rock and roll, man. Appreciate you.
Shane, I love that.